We welcome you into week number 8 here at Whitmer Memorial Stadium. Whitmer getting ready to do battle against the Findlay Trojans. Trojans come in tonight 5-2. Whitmer 6-1. Have not lost since that week 2 game against Detroit King. Since then, the Panthers have been on a roll on both offense and defense. Findlay, for their respect, have also been playing very well as of late, dropping a very close loss to Perrysburg down in Wood County last Friday just by 4 points. And the Panthers won the toss. They diverted to the second half, and they will be kicking off to begin this ball game. Back deep to return for the Trojans is number 1 Carter Imke, number 3 Sean Hines. As Brody Rowland puts toe to leather, boots it away towards the near sideline, and it's out of bounds and into the end zone for a touchback. And it'll be Findlay football at their own 20-yard line. Findlay in their white tops with yellow pants, yellow helmets. The Panthers in their maize tops with blue pants, blue helmets. And we're just about ready for the first offensive play. And we'll get a look at how well Whitmer's defense stands up to this ground and pound attack of the Findlay Trojans. Miles Bailey, the quarterback, 73 carries for 336 yards. Sean Hines, 41 carries, 246. But Ramir Williams has come on as of late as well, as the Trojans are actually going to open in an empty set with bunch trips to the left, single receiver here to the near side, and a tight end as the screen pass is complete on the far side of the field. Across the 20-yard line goes Carter Imke, and he's out of bounds for a first down, as Carter Imke, the leading wide receiver, 27 catches for 362, and right to the screen game, and that's something, Riley Keller, if anybody has ever watched Findlay football, they love their screen game.
Yeah, and they do a really good job running it. It can definitely open up some opportunities for you down the stretch. A lot of your screen game will look like your run game or your pass game, so it's definitely a good disguise.
Empty set, quarterback keeper, and Miles Bailey got popped as he got through the hole. Ended up getting 2 yards to the 33-yard line of Findlay, but certainly took a punishing hit as he was knocked to the ground on that first carry.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the Trojans do offensively tonight because, they're known for their ground and pound game, but Whitmer, for the majority of the seasons, have had to defend that pass game. So we'll see what Whitmer comes out with defensively. Maybe wants to stop that run game more than that pass game.
Ramir Williams on at tailback, Bailey in the gun with him. 3 wide receivers. As Hines comes in motion, they hand off to Williams. He had a cut at the line of scrimmage, maybe got 2 yards. It'll be a third down and about 5 upcoming for the Trojans from their own 36-yard line. Trojans going from left to right across your radio dial on this first possession, just underway here at Whitmer Memorial Stadium. Bailey, for his part, 50 of 71 for 738 through the air, 5 touchdowns passing this year. As he is all alone again, they will run a reverse to Hines. Hines to the outside. He got across the 40, got the first down, and falls down just across that 45-yard line of Findlay. 1st and 10 Trojans as they will move to their own 46-yard line. Good call. Again, Hines very fleet of foot. If you watched the highlights last week between Findlay and Perrysburg, Hines got loose on a screen pass and outraced every jacket to the end zone. It was really quite something to behold on the Friday night highlights as they go right back to Hines on another end around. Whitmer trying to string it out. They do, as Hines got back to the line of scrimmage and hit hard as he goes out of bounds. Katorian Morgan there to put a hit on Hines. It's no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Much better job there by the Panthers to string the play out.
You're noticing out of the Trojans with this drive, too, it looks like they're trying to move with a little bit of tempo. I noticed on that last play they got to the line really, really fast. And here now they're going empty, so they're mixing it up for the Panthers this opening drive for sure.
Bailey all alone. As Riley said, an empty set. Bailey throws the quick screen pass to Imke. He got across midfield, got close to the first down, gets it as he is able to lower the shoulder and beat a host of Panthers for a first down to the Whitmer 42-yard line. Findlay officially in Panther territory. That's twice out they've gone to Imke on those little screen passes out of the bunch formations, and it results in another first down.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful with that, too, because Bailey's been taking a few steps forward before he lets that bubble go on the outside. So I'm wondering if that's incomplete, they're going to rule it fumble.
Bailey will keep it himself. Got past Big Mustard out of the backfield. Lowers his shoulder for about 4, maybe 5. We'll see officially where they mark it, but it'll be 2nd down and medium coming up for Findlay from the Panther 38-yard line. It will be 2nd down and 6. Again, just underway. First possession for either team. No score yet as the Trojans moving from left to right to start this first quarter. Bailey on another keeper. Whitmer not fooled. However, Bailey able to get some positive yards anyway. Got 3. It'll be a third down and a long 2 upcoming for the Trojans. That was something Stephen Adams told me during the week. Miles Bailey, the only reason that he isn't the team's leading rusher is because he got moved to quarterback. And Stephen Adams saying he was really good to start the year at running back when they were running with Riley Korkos, the backup from last year. Bailey with Williams as they look back to the sideline. Tight end on this one is Grant Emmons. They do run 3 different tight ends in there. It's third down and 3, under 9 to play here in this first quarter. Bailey trying to draw the Panthers off sides as Imke came in motion. Bailey on a keeper, got the first down inside the 30, taken down at the 25-yard line of the Panthers. And the movement that Findlay is running with is causing Whitmer some problems here early.
Yeah, every offensive play, Chris, has had a motion or someone moving before the ball is snapped, and that time they brought the weak side or the short-sided wide receiver on an end around behind the quarterback. So that messes with the linebacker's eyes, the safety's eyes, and that's really going to confuse the Whitmer defense. Hopefully they can lock in and kind of hone in on what triggers the run there in that situation.
First and 10, Findlay at the Whitmer 25, 8:30 to go here in this first quarter. Bailey will fake the handoff, and Brock Duvall able to snake into the backfield. He was not fooled on the fake and brought Bailey down for a loss of 1 on the play. Second down and 11 coming up from the Whitmer 26 for the Trojans. Good job by Brock Duvall.
Yep, great play call right there. Sent him on a blitz from the opposite side of where the run was going to, but the last few plays they've ran to that short side of the field. Bailey making a great play to get back there.
Bailey with an empty backfield. He will throw a screen, this time here to the near side. It's complete down to the 20, make it the 19-yard line. That time it was complete to Grayson Geiser, who is the second leading wide receiver on this team. 15 catches make it now 16 for Geiser. 185 receiving yards. It'll be third down and 4 upcoming for Findlay at the Whitmer 19. You'd have to assume the Trojans in 4-down territory. So 2 plays to get 4 yards if you're Findlay, as Ramir Williams joins Miles Bailey in the backfield. Player in motion again. This time they hand to Williams, and he's dropped for a loss on the play. Lost 2 on third down back to the 21-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 6, and this is not going to be easy for the Trojans to pick up.
Yeah, every run play they've ran has been going to the short side. That time, I think Petaway kind of snuffed it out, and he was on the polar side of the play, so he followed the polar all the way to the ball and was able to make a play behind the line of scrimmage.
Empty backfield on this 4th down and 6. Bailey looks back to the sideline. Nash Montgomery, the younger brother of Luke and Ryan Montgomery, comes on as an extra wide receiver. Play clock down to 7, 6:40 to go here in the opening quarter. Bailey will roll to his left, steps up, has nowhere to go. Now will try and take off with it, and he's going to get knocked down short of the first down. That's a tremendous job by the Whitmer defense, and what a hit Bailey took as he tried to run with the football. Turnover on downs, Whitmer football at their own 19.
Man, when Zach Aubrey comes to hit you, it's not going to be just to bring you down. It's going to make sure you feel it. And that time, I'm pretty sure Bailey felt it on the way down. His head kind of bounced off the turf. But Zach Aubrey making a great play. Bailey was scrambling, trying to get the first down, but Aubrey hustling like he always does, making a play past the line of scrimmage.
Let's see how the Panthers react, as Perrysburg was held to just 14 points last week. And see if Whitmer has better luck running the football, as Joey Morales in the backfield with Carter Bourne, 3 wide receivers as Waddell goes in motion. Now trips to the right in the formation after the movement as Morales up the middle. Joey fighting forward up to the 25-yard line. Good run on first down, gain of 6. Joey kind of just popped out the backside of the mass of humanity there at the line of scrimmage. Second down and 4.
Yeah, always good on first down when you can get about 6 yards, and that puts you in a great spot, almost leaves your playbook wide open for you. You can run whatever you need.
Winlock moves from left to right. Now Waddell will go from right to left. 3 wide receivers, 6 minutes to go in the first. They will hand off to Joey around the left side this time. Joey at the 30. Joey lowers the shoulder and gets submarine down, but he does get a first down up near that 35-yard line as Kevion Lee limps off. Hopefully he's all right, that is not a person you can afford to lose, as Kevion has been one of the better players. You wonder if maybe he just turned an ankle there.
Yeah, that's always unfortunate when you're blocking for a guy and he happens to run into you from behind, but hopefully he's okay there.
3 wide. Morales on again as Dom DeLuca goes in motion. 1st and 10, another handoff to Joey off the left side. Joey cuts inside, cuts back up the middle. Joey at midfield, bounces to the outside. He's at the 35 of Findlay, taken down at the 30 of the Trojans. Big run from Joey Morales, marked down at the Trojan 29.
Great run from Joey. Once he got past those linebackers, he made a great cutback across the field because everyone from the overtop and the safeties flew over. So he made a great cutback and delivered a powerful stiff arm to the defensive back chasing after him.
The vision from Joey there, just to kind of weave his way through traffic as Jamon Holmes will spell him for a moment. Jamon now with Carter in the backfield, trips to the left. They will go to Jamon on 1st down. Jamon up the middle, able to get about 3, maybe 4 before he's brought down at the 26-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and about 6 coming up. Make it 2nd down and 7.
Good for 3. Technically by Harris.
So 2nd down and 7, 4:37. Quick moving first quarter here. Hand off to Jamon around the left side. Jamon got hit once and twice and taken down at the 24-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down, as it was a good job by the Trojans to rally to the football. And it'll be a 3rd down here. 3rd down and 5. Panthers have to get to the 19.5-yard line for a 1st down of Findlay. 3 wide as Jamon in the gun with Carter Bourne. And they just got Findlay to jump off sides, and that's going to make it a lot easier. 3rd down and 6 becomes 3rd down and 1 with 4:02 left here in the first quarter.
Defense number 75, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
While we were away, a Jamon Holmes run for a 1st down as the Panthers had 2 backs in the backfield. As Joey will stay on, Jamon will come off. It's 1st and 10 Whitmer. They're inside the red zone for the first time tonight with 3:30 and counting here in the first. Carter Bourne taking his time as the Panthers with a fresh set of downs. Man goes in motion. That's a handoff to Waddell around the left side. Brandon inside the 15 and taken down at the 11-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 7. 2nd down and 3 coming up there for the Panthers.
Tackle made by number 9, Patrick.
See, I wouldn't be surprised here if the Panthers took a shot in the end zone with one of the receivers. I'd say it's almost a situation where you're almost comfortable enough. If you don't complete the ball, you're in a 3rd and short situation, and they trust those running backs enough to pick up that 1st down.
2nd down, 3. Morales in the gun. They'll go back to Joey. Joey around the left side, puts an arm out there, lowered his shoulder across the 10, got close to the 1st down. They will stop the clock, and they do call it a 1st down. It's 1st and goal Whitmer now at the Trojans' 7-yard line with 2:35 to play here in the opening quarter.
Panthers making a statement on this first drive, just running the ball up the middle and getting the yards that they can get, letting those 2 running backs go to work.
2 tailbacks in the gun with Carter Bourne, receiver to either side of the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Jamon. Jamon cuts inside the 5, taken down to the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal from there. Panthers inching closer and closer to that goal line here in what has been a very fast first quarter. Same formation. Panthers quickly back to the line of scrimmage. They will go right back to Jamon. Jamon bounces to the outside. This time taken down at the 1. Great tackle in the open field made by, I think it was Will Hammer, the safety. So it'll be 3rd down and goal at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, not too many guys have been able to bring down Jamon Holmes one-on-one, and that was a great play by him, saving a touchdown for the Trojans.
Handoff to Jamon once again. Jamon to the outside. Jamon to the goal line. That's a touchdown. Whitmer in from 2 yards out with 1:31 to play in the opening quarter. It's 6-0 Whitmer.
Yeah, like I said, just a statement drive from the Panthers right there. Not throwing the ball at all, really, just hitting those screens or bubbles once in a while, and then letting those two running backs go to work. It's really hard to stop when we're having fresh legs, subbing each other out for a 70-yard drive.
I don't think any Panther caught a pass on that drive. I don't think Carter threw a ball once as Anthony LaRue on for the extra point. Kick is up, and kick is good. 7-0, 1:31 to play here in the first quarter. Step aside for 30 seconds, come right back. You're listening to Whitmer Football. 3-yard touchdown run from Jamon Holmes makes the score Whitmer 7-0 with 1:31 here to go in the opening quarter. Chris Midbar, Riley Keller, Dan Naraki down the sidelines. Dan reporting up during the break in play that Kevion was getting his ankles retaped. Looked like to be trying to warm back up, so hopefully nothing too serious for him. And hopefully we'll get a chance to see him again in this game, although if they're not going to throw the football, I don't know that Kevion really needs to come back out.
Yeah, that was some drive by the Panthers there, just being able to run the ball all the way down the Trojans' throats and put up 6. So
Roland angles another one into the end zone for a touchback. Now they're going to say it went out of bounds. We're going to pause for 30 seconds one more time and listen to Whitmer Football. Findlay does get the football at their own 35-yard line after the kickoff went out of bounds. So the Trojans, who drove inside the Whitmer 20, then turned it over on downs, will get the ball again as Bailey will keep it himself, tripped up from behind, and that's a good tackle made by Brandon Dempsey, because if it's not made, Bailey probably gets a first down and maybe then some. Instead, it's just only a gain of 5.
Yeah, I saw a touchdown, Chris, and that was a great play by oh my gosh.
Brandon Dempsey,
yeah,
that's all right.
Dempsey, jeez. But yeah, that was a great ankle-saving tackle by Dempsey there, because I saw nothing but green grass for Bailey.
Well, here it's more maize grass until you get to about the 35-yard line with the Panther. As Bailey in the gun with Ramir Williams. Grayson Geiser goes in motion. They look to the screen. Now Bailey will keep it, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Whitmer not fooled again, as Bailey did actually move forward for about 4 yards. Actually, I think the ball may have come free because it was number 55, Max Inthavone, who had the football. So I think it may have popped out.
Oh, I thought I saw Infobome carry Bailey all the way to.
That could be too.
But maybe that was, I don't know. Maybe the ball was out.
All I saw was Bailey disappear between some maize jerseys, and then Inthavone with the football afterwards. 3rd down and 1. Ball at the Trojan 44. Bailey will hand off to Williams. He tries to go to the outside, and it's going to be close. There's a flag that comes in. It's going to likely be, I would think, against Findlay, but we'll see.
Always scary when the flag goes towards the tackle. Maybe a face mask, too, from
that could be as well.
That
could be as well. And they're going to say, I think it is a face mask on Whitmer, so it's going to be a first down. He didn't really signal what it was, but it was a personal foul, so I imagine that's what it was.
Yeah.
So the ball's going to go all the way into Panther territory, down to the Whitmer 41. With 6 seconds to play in the quarter, and doesn't look like Findlay's going to be in any hurry. So run a play before the quarter expires. Whitmer uses their ground and pound right back at Findlay. They lead 7-0 after the first 12. Back after this. Whitmer presenting a check to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Panthers football team actually raised $1,500 this week for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And that was Justin Keller's edict to the team if they were going to wear pink. He wanted them to understand why they were going to wear pink here in October. And not only did his team raise money, but they raised $1,500 for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. You and I talked about it beforehand, and that's kind of a neat way to do it, to make sure that the kids understand why you're doing it, not just wearing pink for the heck of it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something in today's day and age and these generations where it's just October and a lot of football teams wear pink, but that's a great thing the Panthers are doing. I know it's something we didn't really do a whole lot. We always saved it for one game to make it a little special, but that's a great thing the Panthers are doing this week.
1st and 10 from the Panther 41 as a handoff is a fake, and the screen pass is intercepted, I think. I believe it was intercepted off the ricochet. It is. What a job by the Panthers. You had said that Bailey was starting to telegraph those screen passes, and it was picked off. I didn't see who caught it. It was Dominic Arndt on the interception. That is pick number 5 for Dom Arndt.
Yeah, I think it was Zach. Was it Zach Aubrey?
I believe it was.
Yeah, he read that perfectly. Bailey was, like I said earlier, starting to step up to deliver those bubble screens, and that's something as a D end you're licking your chops for, because that just gives you more room to knock that ball down, which Aubrey did, and it paid off for the defense.
So 1st and 10 at the Whitmer 43 for the Panthers, as Jamon Holmes in the gun with Carter Bourne. 3 wide. Carter gets the snap, looks to throw. First throw of the game going deep down the field for Mark Hayes, caught inside the 35 and pushed out of bounds at the 34 of Findlay. Mark Hayes dropped an easy touchdown catch a week ago at Northview. He made sure he held on to that one.
Yeah, Mark Hayes is going to have to step up, fill some shoes here in the receiver position, but he's done a great job so far all camp and made strides as a receiver. He's doing a great job looking that ball in. And a great job by the Panthers capitalizing on that momentum, going in the air right there after a turnover.
Not bad when you're just 1 for 1 for like 40 yards. Good start. 3 wide for Carter Bourne and Jamon Holmes in the shotgun. As Hayes comes in motion, they'll hand off to Jamon with a full head of steam. Jamon inside the 20, at the 10, at the 5, and wrestled down. 1st and goal Whitmer as he just carried white shirts, trucked a bunch of Trojans as well. The hard run as Jamon Holmes looked like he was shot out of a cannon through the line of scrimmage. It almost kind of made me pause because I was so impressed by what kind of jump he got.
Yeah, we'll get back to that play here after this one. Right?
1st and goal, right back to Jamon. Jamon at the line and pushed backwards, and that's a great job by the Trojans. They had to bring 4 tacklers to get him. First Trojan that was there was number 8 Hudson Yeager on the stop. Also Mason Hetrick got in there. It'll be 2nd down and goal at the 5 as we're under 11:10 to play in the first half. We're leading 7-0 here in the second quarter.
Yeah, on that last run by Jamon, your jaw wasn't the only one that hit the floor, because I was surprised. I know people at home can't see it, but if Jamon has a little bit of space between him and the linebackers, he's going to hit it with a full head of steam, and he did that right there.
Play action, fake, touchdown to Jerron Potts. They used the tight end. He's wide open in the end zone. The 2nd touchdown reception for Jerron Potts this year. It's 13-0 with 10:50 to play here in the half.
Yeah, the old tight end pop pass right there brought out. That's been in the playbook. I think since I was a 4th grader, my dad's been coaching. That's been in the playbook. But, man, what a great time to do it with Potts in the end zone wide open. They've been running the ball all game, and what better way to do it in the end zone when you're on the 5-yard line. Anthony
LaRue on for the extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. 14-0, 10:50 to play. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Come right back. You're listening to Whitmer Football. Touchdown pass from Carter Bourne to Jerron Potts. His 2nd reception for a touchdown this year. That's touchdown pass number 9 for Carter Bourne. Has the score Whitmer 14, Findlay nothing. This is all the points that Findlay gave up to Perrysburg a week ago. As Brody Rowland ready to tee it up once again. Sean Hines, Carter Imke back to return the kickoff. As the Panthers could not have asked for a much better start here on homecoming here at Memorial Stadium. Chris Bidbauer, Riley Keller, Dan Naraki. We'll check in with him here in just a few seconds down on the sidelines. Dan will update us with some scores from around the area as Brody Rowland puts toe to football and boots it down to the 3-yard line. That's where it's taken, across the 5 at the 15. Make it the 20, and then taken down across the 20-yard line. Looked like that might have been Hetrick on the return. So it'll be first down for Findlay from their own 22-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Dan with a check of our Hindsight Pizza scoreboard. Dan.
A trio of scores in the league, our games in the league are scoreless in the first. Perrysburg Clay 0-0. Fremont Ross Springfield 0-0. Northview and Anthony Wayne 0-0. Couple other games we're looking at: Genoa on top of Eastwood 7-0, and Napoleon leading Bowling Green 7-0.
Thank you, Dan. And that Genoa Eastwood game is pretty much going to decide who wins the Northern Buckeye Conference. Genoa shocked folks by beating Oak Harbor a couple weeks ago, and last week Eastwood did it when they blew out the Rockets. As that pass looked like it hit the turf, they're going to say it was a catch by Hines as he'll go for a first down. I don't know, Riley Kelly. That looked like it may have scuffed off the turf.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I think he did a good job grabbing that before it hit the turf. I mean, yeah, it's 50-50. There's no review, but if he looks like he caught it and he's acting like he caught it, I'd say let him go as well.
Spoken like an offensive guy.
Yeah.
First and 10 at the Trojan 36 after the screen pass caught by Sean Hines. Bailey with Ramir Williams in the backfield. 3 wide receivers here. The tight end is Emmons. He will flare out and join on the line. They'll run a screen pass. This is caught by Imke. Imke across the 40. He's at the 45 and taken down in Panther territory. As Imke with a full head of steam. You can see the burst from the 5'8", 160-pound junior wide receiver, Carter Imke.
Yeah, he looked really good getting out of that bubble right there. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept going to him more, but that means, these Whitmer DBs have to lock in on who they're guarding and shut a block or two to get to that bubble screen.
Nash Montgomery returns. He will replace Ramir Williams as Bailey will be in an empty set. 5 wide. As Emmons will line up as an extra tight end. Man comes in motion. Bailey will keep it himself and tripped up as he was able to sneak through up to the 45-yard line of the Panthers. It'll be a gain of 4. Second down and 6 coming up from the Whitmer 45. 9:25 to go here in the opening half. Whitmer leading 14-0. Findlay got the opening possession, drove it inside the Whitmer 20, turned it over on downs. Whitmer was able to score as Bailey with another screen pass. It's intercepted, and it's going to go to the house. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Panthers. Jalik Thompson read it like a book.
Yeah, Zach Aubrey read it the first time, Jalik Thompson with the second, and that time he jumped where the pass was going and not the quarterback. So, just popped right in front of the receiver, took the ball all the way to the house. Great play by Jalik Thompson.
That was one of the best reactions we have seen out of a defensive player all year for Whitmer. Jalik Thompson was able to step in front of that bubble screen, and there wasn't anyone between him and the goal line after he got a head of steam coming out of there. I'm going to call a sideline warning against Findlay. That's not the one I thought they would signal it against, because you would think with the celebration it would be the Panthers who got a little too exuberant on their sideline. As LaRue on for the extra point, Levi Bacon to hold. Snap is back, hold is down. LaRue's kick up, and she is straight and true. 21-0, 9 minutes to play here in the half. We will step aside.
The Panthers, 21. The Trojans, 0. Ladies and gentlemen, Sideline Sports Media in support of Whitmer Athletics. Please visit Sideline Sports for your or application. Remains open. Sideline Sports Media, proud supporter of your Whitmer Panthers.
Jalik Thompson's interception return for a touchdown makes the score Whitmer 21 and Findlay nothing. Let's go downstairs to Dan Naraki with a D&T sideline report. Dan.
And you want to talk about the interception, and that is a DB's dream scenario to be able to step up there and have nothing but open field. But on this Whitmer defense, you talk about that first drive and how the motion was confusing them, and Findlay was able to drive all the way down inside the Whitmer red zone. And in a game of adjustments from drive to drive as they were able to stop and trade assignments when the Findlay offense started that motion.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, it's almost like switching in basketball. You got him, I got him, and then when they switch, you just kind of let where you're at in the field dictate who you're going to cover. As Roland with it teed up, he's already kicking off for the fourth time here in this first half, as that is angled towards the far sideline, picked up by Hetrick there. He's at the 5 and going to be wrapped up and taken down at the 11. Ball came out. There's a flag. Or no, excuse me, that was for the fumble. And I think Findlay got it back.
Yeah, really fortunate they got it back there. That time, 3 Panthers were in on the tackle, and I'm surprised none of them saw the ball pop out. Fortunately enough, Findlay did, and they were able to hop back on it.
That was the orange flag that was dropped, but going to be 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line, and right now Findlay has to be shell-shocked by what has transpired here in the second quarter. It was just 7-0 less than 4 minutes ago, and now all of a sudden it's 21-0. Probably going to want to think twice about running some of those bubble screens, but again, that is Findlay's game. You don't want to go away from what got you here. 3 wide receivers make it 4. As Bailey will keep it himself off the left side and got hit as he got to the 11-yard line. And that's where he was taken down. Make it 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Trojans. Backed up at their own 11-yard line.
Yeah, give credit to Whitmer's defensive coaches. They saw something. Findlay came out in an offense where they didn't really look like themselves, motioning those guys and throwing bubbles all the time. But they were able to make adjustments in between series, and obviously they've been able to capitalize on the following too. So props to Whitmer's defensive coaches making those adjustments.
I will say I appreciate the ingenuity and the creativity that the offensive staff for Findlay has shown, as Griffin Lane will get the handoff. Strike that. I think it was Bailey who kept it. Ball came out again. Whitmer says that they have it. They do! Another turnover by the Trojans as Miles Bailey fumbled it. And Dom Arndt on the recovery. What a night for number 43 already. He has an interception. He has a fumble recovery at the Findlay 14.
Yeah, I didn't even see the ball come out, and, Whitmer was able to hop on it. But, yeah, that's something Findlay has to limit, is those turnovers right there. I mean, 3 already in the first half is not what you want to do when you're playing the Panthers, because especially in their own territory, they're going to capitalize. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and take a shot in the end zone right here.
Things have gone from bad to worse for Findlay here, as they have given Whitmer the football at their own 14-yard line, 3 wide, as Jaden Holmes in the backfield. They will hand off. No, Carter Bourne will keep it, and he's going to be taken down after a gain of 2. And Jaden Jones thought he was going to get the carry. Hopefully Carter is okay. We are not seeing Carter with the Guardian cap. He wore that for most of the season after the concussion that he sustained against Detroit King. Good to see that he feels confident not to wear it, which usually means that you feel pretty good about where your head is at, no pun intended. As Jaden Jones in the backfield with Carter Bourne, 3 wide once again. 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard gain on the quarterback keeper. They will hand off to Jaden this time. Jaden they caught inside the 10, and Jaden wrestled down at the 8-yard line. And Jaden is that nice change of pace. Again, you've got 3 guys, and Justin Keller saying once again that unfortunately, because of how well Joey and Jamon have played this year, that Jaden has kind of lost carries, but there is nobody who roots harder for Joey and Jamon, and vice versa when Jaden's on the field, than those 3 guys for each other. Potts will come in motion. He will join as the offset tight end. Jaden Jones will be a play-action fake. Carter rolls to his right, throws to the goal line. Is it caught? Yes, it is. Touchdown, Chris Winlock. The second touchdown pass of the night for Carter Bourne. The first touchdown catch of the year for Chris Winlock. And it's 27-0 Whitmer with 6:47 to play here in the first half. And the Panthers have just blitzed Findlay here.
Yeah, I was wondering when Whitmer was going to throw it down there because they set up that play action perfectly running the ball the first 2 downs. But, that time Carter rolled out. He had his tight end in the flat, but he wasn't in the end zone like Winlock was. And throwing a great ball right on his numbers. Winlock being able to secure a catch down low. Touchdown for the Panthers.
LaRue, another extra point, up and good. 6:47 to go here in the first half. Let's step aside once again. You're listening to Whitmer Football.
That brings us for the Panthers. 28. The Trojans 0.
I don't know what the pregame message was in that locker room before this ball game, but whatever it was, it's been effective because Whitmer finds themselves up 28-0 with 6:47 to go here in the half. The Panthers have scored 28 unanswered. They scored just 7 in the first quarter. It was a quick first quarter, but since the turn here into the second quarter, it has been all Panthers. Of course, turnovers have aided the Panther attack, but man, what a job so far by this entire football team. Just absolutely stunning Findlay here in this first half. Chris Schmidbauer, Riley Keller, Dan Naraki down on the sidelines with you as Anthony LaRue with the ball teed up. See if they go for a bunt kick here, I wonder. I thought maybe, just because that's normally what Anthony practices, is that kickoff taken at the 8-yard line by Hetrick. He's across the 15. He's going to get some space to the outside. He's at the 50-yard line, and boy, did Anthony LaRue save a touchdown as he made the tackle at the 49. Just got the shoestrings of Hetrick there.
Chris, before that kickoff, I was getting ready to say I don't want to jinx it, but up to this point, Whitmer's pretty much played a perfect game if you want to look at it offensively and defensively. I'd say that play right there on special teams was probably the first mistake they've made all game.
So the ball will be placed at the Whitmer 48-yard line, but Miles Bailey and this Findlay offense need to make something happen. Otherwise, we might face a running clock to start the third quarter. 4 wide receivers, Sean Hines in the gun with Bailey. They'll pitch it out to him around the left side. Hines got to the 49. He's going to be taken down. There's going to be a flag on Jalik Thompson. I don't think he got the face mask, but it was still an aggressive play. It was close enough, and to be fair, the official that was behind the play would have never been able to tell 100%.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
It was awfully close. It was hard to tell for sure, but I understand. You said earlier in the game 50-50 call. I think the same thing there.
Sure.
You didn't really know for sure, but
Yeah,
if it looks like it, sounds like it, it's probably it.
Yeah, he turned his head. I mean, it was one of those things where you thought maybe he grabbed the shoulder too, and it very well could have been, but it was one of those calls where his head and shoulders turned, so I think ref played it on the safe side there and just threw the flag.
Dan saying from his angle, looked like he just got a hand inside that visor hole area where a visor would go. So it was a face mask. So 1st and 10, Trojans at the Whitmer 33. Good return and a penalty have put Findlay deep in Panther territory. Bailey with a play-action fake will roll to his right. Still rolling, throws it away. That should be really close to intentional grounding, but he got out of the pocket, so it will not be. It'll be incomplete pass. Good job by Bailey as he was feeling pressure from behind, able to get rid of the football, and now a Trojan is down at the 40-yard line, and an injury timeout on the field will be upcoming here. It's an offensive lineman for the Trojans. We'll see who exactly it is. Stay tuned for the Victory Auto Mall Panther halftime show. Dan will give you scores from around the area. Then Riley and I will follow it up with stats and keys. And we'll also let you listen in to who the homecoming queen is this year. We do that every year where we at least allow you to hear who ends up being named the winner. Unfortunately, Dan is not up for homecoming queen again this year. Just didn't quite make the final cut. As, again, a Findlay Trojan down and being tended to right now. 6:13 to play. 28-0 Whitmer on top here in the first half. But, Riley, when you look at this kind of start, it really does not get much better. As that's Antonio Ortega, by the way, that is down for the Trojans. But we talked about taking this game seriously, not underestimating opponents after a slow first half against Northview. That has not been the case so far.
No, and we kind of were expecting Whitmer to do this the last couple weeks, but, with a tougher opponent like Findlay, maybe this week at practice they were a little bit more honed in on what their assignments were and maybe just got themselves a little bit more ready for this game because they knew that Findlay wasn't going to come out and roll over, but with the way Whitmer's playing, it's making it seem that way.
So 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass from Bailey. He'll be in an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers. Hines comes in motion. They will leave it to Bailey, who gets up to the 30-yard line, and he's taken down there after a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6. I will say Bailey does a great job of carrying out those fakes. Damon McCreary, Big Mustard on the stop. So 3rd down and 7 upcoming for Findlay at the Whitmer 31. Have to think with the way this first half has gone, there's no way this isn't 4-down territory for Findlay.
Yeah, no, already being down 28 and not even getting the halftime. Yeah, I'm sure this is definitely 4-down territory for the Trojans.
Bunch trips to the right, single receiver here to the near side is Imke, as Bailey with a deep drop, looking to throw, throws it over the middle. Nice catch made by Nash Montgomery for a 1st down, and that used every inch of Nash Montgomery's 6-foot, 175-pound frame as he was able to snag a ball. That was not a well-thrown ball from Bailey, but Montgomery made it look better than it was.
Yeah, Bailey was more worried about avoiding a hit in the backfield, but Montgomery doing a great job going up and grabbing that ball. Only at 6 foot, I'm sure he's got a lot more growing to do with what his brothers ended up being.
Again, the younger brother of Luke Montgomery, who's at Ohio State, Ryan Montgomery, the quarterback at Georgia now. Have to see where Nash ends up. 5 minutes to go here in the half. 1st and 10 Findlay at the 20. Bailey keeps it himself. Bounces to the outside, taken down for no gain. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Tim Petaway on the stop there for Whitmer. So it'll be half a yard maybe. So officially 2nd down and 9.
Gain of a yard. 2nd 9 for the Trojans.
Wonder if Findlay are just going to try and also burn as much clock. They don't want Whitmer to get the football back before halftime. Whitmer will get it to start the 3rd quarter. Bunch trips here to the left. Single receiver to the far side as the Trojans go from right to left this quarter. Bailey with a deep drop, looking for somebody. Now will roll to his left. Pressured. Found Nash Montgomery again. That will get to the 15-yard line. Good improvisation, and Montgomery a little slow to get up as well, as he had all of the pressure from that hit on the back of his head, and he is rolling around in some pain. That was a heck of a hit, as Montgomery was just in the middle of things and got drilled on the hit, and all of that weight landed on the back of his head. And that does never feel good. Hopefully he's okay, because, again, one of those young guys for this Findlay team who's going to be really good. You go around the skill positions, and obviously Bailey is a senior, but Ramir Williams, the leading ball carrier, is just a junior. Montgomery's a sophomore. Grayson Geiser's a sophomore. Carter Imke's just a junior. Grant Emmons, the tight end, just a junior. This is going to be a really good Findlay team next year, as Montgomery looks to be okay, but you wonder, as he does not have his helmet with him, if he's going to be able to return. We'll have to wait and see if we spot number 18 find his way back to the field here. But it's going to force likely either Will Hammer or Jed Scott into action at wide receiver. as it's 3rd down and 5 at the 16-yard line. It is Jed Scott that came on to take the place of Montgomery. Bailey all alone in the backfield with 5 wide. He will take another deep drop. He's going to be pressured out of the pocket. Going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That was a coverage sack by the Panthers. It was Brock Duvall who finished the play, but it was great coverage downfield by the secondary that didn't allow Bailey to find anybody. Whitmer got pressure off the edge from both Zach Aubrey and Tim Petaway, and it's now 4th down and 11.
Yeah, great overall play by the defense right there. Coverage sack is always, one of the best plays you can have as a safety. It means you're covering them all the way, and even if the quarterback rolls out of the pocket, he's not finding anything, and that leaves it up to the defensive line to clean it up.
Panthers on 4th and 11. Ball is off the They're going to call pass interference. Literally, a ball hit off the helmet of a Whitmer defender. That was very weird. And unfortunately, Chris Simmons is going to be whistled for a pass interference, but I'm not sure why the flag was thrown so late, because nobody touched the receiver until after it hit off the head of a Whitmer defender.
Right, yeah, I saw the receiver's shoulder. I'm not sure what receiver that was, but his shoulder kind of got pulled when he made his cut. But that flag, you're right, Chris, did come pretty late. I'm wondering if that was thrown on Simmons or not. But Simmons, I think, I don't know if this is a defensive back thing, but Simmons has to look for the ball there and not really headhunt anymore, because that's more of a costly play if you're called for that targeting call, maybe.
For sure.
But I don't know if it's a defensive back thing or not, but they always love to deliver the hit more than kind of go for the ball. In that case, I think Simmons needs to look for the ball there and maybe walks away with a pick.
So 1st and 10 Findlay at the Whitmer 11. Bailey will keep it himself, throws to the end zone, overthrew his intended target, looking for Emmons, the tight end. That was Whitmer's pressure once again, forcing Bailey to let the football go before he wanted to. He'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 11 with 3:05 to go in the half.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Trojans.
Been a quick first half here at Whitmer Memorial Stadium. Just 47 minutes into the ball game as far as clock time is concerned, or real time. Griffin Lane, the tailback, 4 wide receivers here. Trips to the right, single receiver to the near side is Imke. Lane will flare out. They will look his way. They will go underneath. Got it to Hines. He slipped 1 tackle at the 5, taken down from behind. It'll be close to a 1st down.
There they are, using that screen game right there. That time it was a tunnel screen to the field, and that time, all the linebackers crashed into the box, which leaves the receiver to get as much yards as he can. I'm surprised they haven't been utilizing that a little bit more. They've let Bailey drop back a little bit, causing him to get some pressure in his face and cause some bad throws.
3rd down and 1, 3 wide here as Bailey will keep it. He's hit right away. Joe Searcy got into the backfield and delivered a blow to Bailey. It's going to be 4th down.
Tackle made by 55.
Joe Searcy shot out of a cannon, doing his best Jamon Holmes impression off the line. It's a loss of 2. It'll be 4th down and 3. Panthers can get off the field here with a little over 2 minutes to play here in the half. Again, Whitmer leading 28-0. This is a huge play.
Yeah, and Whitmer defensive line has to hold their water here. This is a great opportunity for the Trojans to try to catch the Whitmer defensive line off guard, but we'll see if they've been trying to fix that mistake over the course of the week at practice.
Stephen Adams is going to take this all the way down and burn his first timeout of the half, because he knows just as much as I do that this is a huge play coming up for both sides of the football. We had said multiple times with 6:47 to go when it became 28-0 here in the second quarter that Findlay had to answer with points. There's no way that you couldn't, because the next score for Whitmer was going to put them, even if it was a field goal, over 30 points, and that's a running clock. And we have all seen how hard it is when you've got a running clock in the second half. Not only is it difficult to get all your commercials in, but it's also difficult to come back in a football game like this. Where would you go if you're Findlay? Because the screens have worked at times, but you've seen Whitmer read them really well. You ran the tunnel screen to get to a 3rd and short. You tried a quarterback keeper on that 3rd down, and Joe Searcy was able to read it perfectly. So where would you go if you're this Findlay offensive staff?
Yeah, if I'm calling plays for the Findlay offense, I want to come out in a formation where it looks like maybe a run in between the tackles, but then maybe sneak a motion in there because they had a lot of success with those motions, and get Bailey rolling out because he is a running threat and he can throw the ball. But I think that's kind of their best option right now, is getting him out of the pocket so he doesn't take a sack and maybe give him a chance to pick up that first down or a touchdown.
Ramir Williams and Sean Hines are going to be in the gun with Bailey, so they're showing 2 backs, 3 wide receivers on this 4th down and a long 2. Man comes in motion into the backfield. Bailey with the little quick screen. That's a great call as Sean Hines catches it for a touchdown. And that was emptying one that was deep in the recesses of that playbook. So it's 28-6 after the 3-yard touchdown catch. But Findlay is on the board with $1:43 to go before halftime.
Yeah, they brought the motion that time. They were able to get a free guy on the outside there. But, I mean, if I'm Findlay, I'm looking at that, and I'm wanting to send a guy in motion almost every play because it's leaving someone unaccounted for, and the Whitmer defense has to start realizing that.
Grayson Geiser on for the extra point. Kick is up and good. Just inside the left upright as Jameer Wells looked like he might actually block that for a moment. Instead, it'll be 28-7, 1:43 to go before halftime. Again, stay tuned for the Victory Auto Mall halftime show. Dan to lead things off with a check of your Hindsight Pizza scoreboard. Then Riley and I will be back with stats and keys. And as I said, we'll also let you listen in when they announce the homecoming queen. Dave Heyman, who's the trainer here, his daughter Addison is on the homecoming court. He was her escort tonight. He might be the best dressed trainer in all of Northwest Ohio tonight. He's in an all black suit with a white tie. Looks like Johnny Cash down there.
I was going to make another reference.
Yeah,
But I saw him pregame, and I did a double take. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that was Trainer Dave at first. So he's looking sharp down there. Shout out Trainer Dave.
Normally he's in a pair of shorts and a sweatshirt at this point. Of course, if you have been around this Whitmer program, you know that the training staff, it is a personal challenge that they give to themselves every year to wear shorts the entire season, no matter the weather outside. And I guess as a father, Dave making an exception tonight to dress up for his daughter. But certainly, again, we'll let you listen in on whether or not his daughter wins homecoming queen. As that ball kicked away, it will go into the end zone for a touchback as DeLuca caught off guard a little bit by how much was behind that kickoff from Grayson Geiser. It'll be 1st and 10 Whitmer at their own 20 with 1:43 to go, all 3 timeouts. And we're going to get a Whitmer version of the 2-minute drill here.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Chris. They're definitely going to take advantage of this opportunity and work on that 2-minute drill, something, maybe they'll see down the stretch here in the season or when they get in the playoffs, because those opportunities come up more times than not, especially in those tighter games.
Well, you and I talked about how important that touchdown was before the end of the first quarter last week after Northview got on the scoreboard. Whitmer went quickly in that first quarter, and even though it didn't really matter as far as the half ending, Whitmer was able to score, and that kind of changed the tone after that first quarter as Carter in the gun with Joey Morales. They will fake the handoff, come short side. Pass is caught by Brandon Waddell to the 25. It's a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5 coming up.
Utilizing the RPO on that, that's one of the first times I've seen Carter utilizing the RPO where he's staying in the pocket and has a couple options on the outside. That time hitting Waddell in the middle, but look for those to kind of pop over the course of the game here if they take it in the second half.
Carter back to throw. Rolling to his right, throws on the run. Passes caught by Brandon Waddell up across the Whitmer 40-yard line. Out of bounds, I believe, at that 40-yard line. Clock stops for the first down anyway. And Panthers moving quickly. Again, all 3 timeouts with 1:09 to go here in the half. 1st and 10 Panthers, 3 wide receivers to the left. Carter gets the snap. Screen pass is low and incomplete. Brandon Waddell is a little slow to gather on it. Findlay coaches thought it was a fumble. It was not. Or at least according to the officials, it was not. As Waddell will get a breather, as will Maddox Milam. And it's Winlock on as a wide receiver. as is Levi Bacon, who I know the coaching staff wanted to get more reps at wide receiver. As Carter drops back to throw, comes here near side, pass is caught by Levi Bacon. They're going to run the clock. Now they're going to say it stops with 57 seconds to go at the Panther 46. Going to be 3rd down and 4 upcoming for the Whitmer offense. And Justin Keller, I think, took a timeout. That was what it was. That's why the clock stopped. He immediately called a timeout to Justin Keller with 57 seconds to go before halftime.
Yeah, Carter doing a good job handling this 2-minute drive so far. They've had a couple routes, outbreaking routes to the sideline. That time, the ball was a little bit behind them, wasn't able to get out of bounds, but there's really no problem with that. Whitmer had all 3, so no problem to use one at midfield here, kind of reset and get started over again on this 2-minute drive.
Anthony LaRue hit his season long last week in field goals, 35 yards. He is 3 of 4 this year. Also has made a 28-yarder and a 22-yarder this year. Only miss happened at Fremont Ross. So it'll be a 3rd down and 4 upcoming from the 46-yard line. Panthers with 2 timeouts and 4 wide receivers out there. Carter Bourne all alone in the backfield. Potts the tight end. Carter gets the snap on 3rd down, looks to throw, pressured, will roll to his left, going to take off with the football. He's going to get the 1st down. He's across the 45. He's at the 40, inside the 35 of Findlay and out of bounds. Great play by Carter Bourne to use the wheels. A good gain down to the 34-yard line of Findlay with 48 ticks left to go before halftime. Clock stops with Bourne going out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a great rollout by Carter there. He was under duress and had Joey out there in the flat, but he pointed to him, told him to start blocking, and he made the right call because he was able to pick up about 20 yards and get out of bounds without taking a hit.
Receiver scrambling around is Waddell and Winlock to the left. And it's Mark Hayes here to the right. Jamon Holmes in the gun with Carter. Waddell will come in motion. They'll hand off to Jamon. Jamon weaving his way up across the 30 to the 29. And the clock's still running with 40 seconds. Panthers moving quickly. Again, still 2 timeouts left. Bourne in the gun with Jamon again. Waddell goes in motion again. This time they'll hand off to Brandon around that left side, and he's out of bounds. Shy of the 1st down, maybe a gain of 2. Actually, just a gain of 1, so it's going to be 3rd down and 4 with 24 seconds left before halftime. Don't have a ton of time left. You got a few shots, and you do, again, have 2 timeouts in your back pocket. If they were to try a field goal from here, it would be a 45-yarder. 10 yards further back. We did see a video on Facebook the other day that Anthony LaRue made a 50-yarder. However, that was without pads on. And they just got Findlay to jump off sides. So 3rd and 4 becomes a 1st down. So it's going to move the ball to the 23-yard line of Findlay. And it's going to be 1st and 10 there. Holmes will come off. They will go with an empty backfield. Strike that. They will not bring Holmes off. He just got some final instructions from Nick Speck, the running backs coach. Again, Whitmer still with 2 timeouts left, 28-7. They want to score before halftime, get those 7 points back that Findlay scored a few moments ago. Carter back to throw. Will roll to his right, looks back, goes down for Jamon Holmes down the sideline, incomplete. That wheel route screen out of the backfield, that was well drawn up. Jamon had a shot at the football. To be fair to Findlay, it wasn't covered that poorly. Jamon did have a Findlay defender. It was a good ball from Carter, but incomplete. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Again, from here, it would be a 40-yard field goal.
Yeah, good throw by Carter to give Jamon a chance on the sideline. I think Findlay covered that up pretty well, actually. You made a good point there. I think they're on all over that.
3 wide. Jamon in the backfield with Carter. 18 seconds left before halftime. Carter back to throw. Steps up, fires, has Winlock, incomplete. There's no flag, and there should have been a pass interference call as the safety for Findlay got there super early. That was Sebastian Brandkamp. And the Whitmer crowd is going to have the boo birds come out when they see this on replay. as it looked really early by Brandcamp to make the hit. So instead, it's going to be 3rd down and 10 with 13 seconds.
Yeah, I don't usually question refs' calls that much, but that time I thought for sure he was early.
And Justin Keller is going to take one of those timeouts. You might as well.
Yeah.
I think they want to talk over what they want to do here on 3rd down and give the play callers upstairs a little extra time to come up with what they want to do here. To be fair, in the gamut of calls that we've seen that aren't great calls this year, that wasn't one of the worst ones we've seen, sadly.
No, it really hasn't, but
We witnessed quite a few last week.
Yeah. And maybe it would help, if the Panthers actually had to throw the ball a little bit more. 'Cause
Agreed.
maybe they, see a few more balls in the air, 50-50 calls with those pass interferences. But, Whitmer not having to throw the ball that much, maybe the ref just doesn't see it too often. So I'll stop talking about that call.
You feel free to say whatever you want there. Not going to offend me. So 3rd down and 10 out of the timeout. It's going to be Jamon Holmes in the backfield with Carter. Brandon Waddell, Mark Hayes, Chris Winlock, and Jamon Holmes actually will flare out as a wide receiver, so 4 wide. Potts the tight end. Now Jamon will come in motion. He will join Carter in the backfield. Carter gets the snap. Bourne rolling to his right. Still looking. Throws for Jamon. It's intercepted. Underthrew Jamon Holmes, and the return man across the 40-yard line, and Jamon Holmes just got him with 20 seconds left as time expires. And what could have been a pick 6 by Sebastian Brandcamp is saved because Jamon Holmes is able to make an incredible touchdown-saving tackle, and everybody here with a huge sigh of relief. That was well covered by Findlay. Give the Trojan defense a lot of credit because they covered that extremely well. And Carter went to the safety valve and threw a little bit too behind. Jamon threw it right to the defender. And again, a nice tackle made by Jamon Holmes on that play, and you're lucky he's not hurt. Let's go downstairs to Dan, who's got Coach Keller with him.
Coach, that last play of the half aside, this offense has been able to pretty much move the ball at will against a defense that's been putting up. We're allowing teams only about a touchdown a game in league play. Tell me about how well you've been able to counter that Trojan D.
Well, I think we've been pretty balanced throwing the ball, passing the ball. Obviously, it would have been nice to get at least a field goal there in a little momentum, considering we get the ball back. We get the ball to start the second half and steal possession there. But credit Jamon on an unbelievable effort to chase that down because that could have changed the whole complexion of this game.
Absolutely. Speaking of your defense, it seemed like a tale of two drives as Findlay was able to get some confusion going with their motion offense, but it seemed the very next drive, the defense is already ready to snuff that out. Talking about the adjustments they were making in the huddle to slow this Trojan offense.
You're talking about defensively, on that last drive, we had 2 penalties that assisted that drive. It started with the horse collar, which it's an effort penalty, and then we had the hold that helped set up that last score. So, if we play mistake-free, our way our defense is playing, I don't see them putting up many points the second half as they can keep up this effort.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Keller. Thank you, Dan. Halftime here at Whitmer Memorial Stadium. Score Whitmer 28, Findlay 7. Back after this with the Victory Auto Mall halftime show on Q105.
Back here to Whitmer Memorial Stadium, where it is homecoming this week as the Whitmer Panthers lead the Findlay Trojans 28-7 at the break. Welcome into the Victory Auto Mall halftime report. Dan Naraki with you from high atop Whitmer Memorial Stadium. As a very eventful first half, you heard Coach Justin Keller just say that they played about as well as on offense, as they possibly could. But if you were with us for pregame, you also heard him say in his conversation with Chris that they would like to force Findlay to do the things that make them uncomfortable. This has been a very potent Findlay rushing attack, which has thus far run for just 35 yards on 20 attempts. So thus far, goal succeeded. They are making Findlay try to beat them in the way that the Trojans are least comfortable with. We'll see what the second half brings. We'll bring back in a couple minutes. Chris and Riley will be back to break down the second half, let you know what Whitmer will have to do to keep the lead and come away and move to 7-1 on this season.
28-7 here at the break. Whitmer on top of Findlay here on the Victory Auto Mall halftime report here on Q105. Let's do the individual stats, and again, we'll keep you apprised of who gets named homecoming queen here in a little bit. First down wise, Findlay had 11, Whitmer with 10. 20 carries for Findlay, 35 yards on the ground. Whitmer 18 carries, 135. All told, 34 offensive plays for 128 yards for Findlay. Whitmer 28 offensive plays for 198. Time of possession, Findlay with 14 minutes, 45 seconds. Whitmer with 9 minutes, 15 seconds. Third downs, Findlay is 3 of 6. Whitmer 4 of 5. Findlay is 1 for 2 on fourth downs. Whitmer has not attempted one. The Trojans are 1 for 2 inside the red zone. The Panthers are a perfect 3 for 3. Individual stats, Miles Bailey, the leading ball carrier for the Trojans, 15 carries, 35 yards. Ramir Williams, 3 carries for 1, and then Sean Hines, 2 carries for a loss of 1. And we talked about this during the game. If you're going to be a ground and pound type of offense, the running backs have to help. You can't have it where the quarterback is doing all of the work, and someone who's played that position knows better than anybody. Quarterback can run the football, but you'd really prefer that he not have to take 15 carries to the other running backs who's just taking 5.
Yeah, and that's really tough for Miles Bailey as for any other quarterback that can't really get the run game going. But props to him for, putting his best effort forward and toughing this one out in the first half. Hopefully he's feeling a little bit better going into the second half. But someone for Findlay has to step up and start carrying the rock a little bit more to take that pressure off of Bailey.
I mean, to be fair, Miles Bailey started the year as a tailback, but even still, to have your tailback be the one that's also your leading ball carrier, not a great sign for your rushing game. Miles Bailey was 10 of 14 through the air, 93 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and really both picks were spectacular defensive plays. You'd love to sit there and say, well, it was a mistake that Bailey made, and again, those bubble screens, you know better than anybody, those are quick outs. You don't necessarily read the play as much. It's a quick hit, and when you turn them over, it's usually because the defense had a great reaction time, so you don't really fault him for the fact that he threw the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and Findlay came out throwing that bubble screen pretty well, and they kind of ran it a little bit differently than I've seen out of most teams, but props to the Panthers defense being able to pick up on that. When Bailey's catching the ball, instead of just turning and throwing the bubble, he's been able to take 1 or 2 steps up to the line of scrimmage and then getting the ball out. But props to Aubrey being able to pick up on that, and then the rest of the defense. So they're kind of taking that away from him right now. He's going to have to adjust in the second half.
And that Jalik Thompson 53-yard return for a touchdown, that pick six really kind of flipped that first half on its head. Sean Hines, leading wide receiver, 4 catches for 34 yards and a touchdown. Imke with 3 catches for 38 yards. Nash Montgomery, 2 catches for 14 yards, and then Grayson Geiser, 1 catch for 7 yards. Tackling-wise, Caleb Kenny with 4.5, Will Hammer with 3.5, Sebastian Brandkamp with 3, and then Mason Hetrick with 3. Individual stats for the Panthers, they were led in rushing by Joey Morales, 4 carries, 55 yards. Jamon Holmes, 9 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. Carter Bourne, 2 carries for 21 yards. Brandon Waddell, 2 carries for 8 yards. Passing-wise, Carter, 6 of 10 for 63 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception that Jamon made a spectacular tackle on at the end to make sure that Brandkamp didn't get into the end zone on what would have been a pick 6 right before halftime. If it wasn't for Jamon, the score might be 28-14, and it looks a little different here at the break. I joked about it during the commercial break, but honestly, I suppose it's what I get for making the comment about Carter, but really that's a tough play, and that's one of those sophomore mistakes that you kind of see. Everybody was covered downfield. Findlay covered it very well. Jamon at that point was the safety valve. That's where he's taught to go with the football. Again, I'm sure in film they'll say throw it away, run it out of bounds, do something different instead of trying to force that in.
Yeah, definitely. The play right there for Carter to make was just to throw it away and eat the play, because they're in that situation. They're practicing that 2-minute drill. So if you want to look down the line, not looking too far ahead, and if a playoff situation comes like that where you're only down maybe 2 points, all you need is a field goal to win it. You can't be taking that throw and forcing that. So, that's a mistake that a young quarterback will make all the time, but it's something that he'll definitely learn from, and probably sooner than later hearing it in the locker room rather than tomorrow.
Brandon Waddell, 2 catches for 20 yards. Mark Hayes, 1 catch for 23 yards. Chris Winlock, 1 catch for 9 yards and a score. Levi Bacon, 1 catch for 6 yards. Also, Jerron Potts had a catch for a touchdown. Brock Duvall with 5.5 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. Brandon Dempsey with 4.5 tackles. L.J. Glover with 3.5. Joe Searcy with 2. Homecoming court being introduced right now. Again, we'll let you know who ends up winning Homecoming Queen. We'll let you listen in on the announcement here in a few moments. But let's do what we like to do at this time. If you are on the Whitmer sideline, you're Justin Keller in that locker room right now. What are you telling the troops?
Yeah, I'm telling my offense just to stick with the game plan. I mean, what they've had coming into this game has obviously been working to a T. So other than that last 2-minute drive, forcing a turnover, it's looking really good for the offense. But defensively, I mean, honestly, the same thing. I mentioned it to you towards the end of that second quarter. I think Whitmer overall has been playing almost a perfect game. The only reason Findlay has 7 points up on the board right now, Coach Keller said it, is that horse collar penalty.
Yeah.
Give them 15 yards, and then when they were in the red zone, they gave them a free first down on the 3-yard line. So, yeah, props to Findlay being able to capitalize on those. But those are the things Whitmer's talked about leading up to this week that they can't do. But happened on one drive. I'm sure they're going to learn from that mistake and come out firing in the second half.
Well, Riley and I will quiet down. We are almost at the end of the introductions of the homecoming court, so we'll let you listen in as last year's homecoming queen is being introduced, and we'll be back with keys from Findlay here in a few moments.
And now we've all been waiting for the crowning 2025 homecoming queen. Our second runner-up is Addison Heyman. Our first runner-up is Melody Foofy Speedy. Your 2025 homecoming queen is Culver's Dahovia. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to present the 2025 homecoming queen, Culver's Dahovia. Congratulations to you all.
So you heard, congratulations to the entire homecoming court. And congratulations to Chloe Stakoviak, who is your 2025 homecoming queen here. Now let's go across the way. We gave you the Whitmer keys before we stepped aside. If you are Stephen Adams and his Trojans, what are you saying to your guys right now at the break?
Oh, I'm looking at that offense, and I'm looking for anybody to step up to help Bailey out in that backfield because he's been taking a beating. First, want to look to that O-line and just tell him to protect a little bit more if they can because he's been taking such a beating. But it's really all they can do right now. They're down, but look for them to fight back a little bit harder as an offense going in the second half. Defensively, I mean, Whitmer's been throwing some good things at them. It's really hard when you got 2 running backs with fresh legs all the time, but defensively they just need to stick to what they're doing. I mean, there's so much you can do, like I said, so just look for them to finish out this game strong because I know Coach Adams really gets those guys to play really hard.
Well, it's certainly difficult, too, when your offense puts you in tough situations when you turn the ball over inside your own 20-yard line twice. That really does not help, and you talk about the interceptions and then the fumble really put Findlay's defense in some tough spots. To your point, though, you still have to be able to limit Whitmer here with the running game. They were able to dominate in that first half. That'll do it for the Victory Automall halftime report here on Q105. Third quarter coming up. Whitmer to receive the football. They lead 28-7 here at the break. Don't go anywhere. Third quarter about to begin as everybody doing the wobble here. Panthers find themselves up 28-7, made the Trojans wobble a little bit in that first half. I'll see myself to the door. As the Panthers up by 3 scores as we get ready to start this third quarter. Whitmer will receive the football here in the third. Again, Jamon Holmes with an incredible touchdown-saving tackle off of an interception by Sebastian Brandkamp right before halftime. If it wasn't for that, this might look a little different. But instead, the Panthers still with a 3-score lead. As Maddox Milam and Dom DeLuca drop back deep to return this kickoff, and Grayson Kaiser will be on to kick off for the Trojans. And we'll see exactly what adjustments were made in the locker room. And by the way that Findlay lined up, I wonder if they might be trying an onside here. They're just going to kick it to the short side of the field. It's taken at the 35, and the return man is pushed out of bounds. And it'll be 1st and 10 Whitmer at their own 35-yard line. Interesting decision on the kickoff there. I must be concerned about the return game or just trying to catch Whitmer off guard. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, they kicked it right to LJ Glover. I don't know if they thought maybe you could get him to drop that ball, but good job by him to be able to secure that on the fly.
Yeah, you don't normally see a linebacker on the hands team, but LJ Glover, even though he wasn't on the hands team there, did a nice job, maybe at least making a case for it. As the Panthers, again, 1st and 10 at their 32. They'll say that LJ getting pushed backwards was a loss on the return, as Jamon Holmes starts at tailback for the Panthers. 3 wide receivers, bunch twins here to the near side, single receiver to the far side as the Panthers go from left to right across your radio dial here in the third quarter. As Brandon Waddell on an end around on the left side, and Findlay all over it as they drop Brandon back at the 29-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 13 upcoming here for Whitmer.
Well, I think that was Brody Smith for the Trojans right there. Did a great job setting the edge, forcing Waddell to make that cut a little bit sooner than he thought. You saw right there he kind of got stopped right when he tried to make that cut upfield, and by that time the Trojan defense was around him.
So 2nd down, 13, ball at the Whitmer 29. Holmes in the gun with Carter Bourne. They'll fake the handoff. Carter rolls to his right, comes near side for the tight end Potts. He couldn't hang on to it. It'll be a 3rd and long, and Findlay 1 play away from getting off this field on a 3-and-out on this first series here in the third quarter. This is how you would want to start things if you're Findlay. They still have to hold up, though, for this 3rd down play. Going to be easily the longest 3rd down the Panthers have faced on the night.
Yeah, first time they've actually got moved behind the sticks, I think.
So 3 wide. Fake the handoff. Carter rolls to his right again. He's going to be pressured. Throws underneath. Incomplete. And Bourne was out of the pocket. It won't be grounding, so it's going to force the Panthers to punt. Good pursuit. They're actually talking about whether it's grounding because I don't think it got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it definitely
and
did.
It did. It is a grounding call against Carter Bourne, so Whitmer's going to have to punt a little bit deeper in their territory here.
5-yard penalty, loss of down, 4th down.
So mark the ball back all the way back to the Whitmer 13-yard line, and that's where Anthony LaRue will punt this football away. It is Imke and Hammer to return this punt for Findlay as LaRue just over the goal line to punt this ball away. Imke and Hammer stand at the Whitmer 47-yard line. Snap is high. LaRue wasn't able to get a hold of it, and it's going to go out of bounds, and that's a terrible kick. And it's going to roll out of bounds and be down at the 7-yard line, and things went awful in the first minute or so of this third quarter, and Findlay well in business now, and Anthony probably would have been better just letting that one go through the back line and getting a safety and let Whitmer at least have a better opportunity to pin the Trojans back deeper.
Yeah, it would have been tough for LaRue to think of, oh yeah, 2 points is way better than 6 and that chaos, but that's exactly what I was thinking, Chris. In that situation, you do want to take that safety because now you're giving Findlay the ball on the 6-yard line and being able to put 4 more points on the board rather than if they were to just take the safety.
Not a math major, but 2 is better than 7 if you're trying to keep a lead here. As Bailey in the gun with 3 wide receivers, they will fake the handoff as Bailey keeps it. He gets inside the 5 down to the goal line. No signal yet. Touchdown. And just like that, it's 28-13, and what a start for the Trojans. You knew Findlay wasn't going to go quietly here, and maybe it's Whitmer's turn to be a little shell-shocked here to start the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want if you're the coach for the Findlay Trojans right now. I mean, their defense stepped up, was able to push Whitmer behind the sticks and force a bad punt out of LaRue. But, yeah, definitely the swing the Findlay Trojans wanted to start the second half.
Geiser on for the extra point, and a flag as Whitmer's lined up off sides, and now you wonder if the Trojans might think about going for 2.
Dead ball.
I wouldn't see why not. They basically just ran the ball from that spot and were able to put 6 on the board.
I don't know that 15 looks a lot different than 14 does at this point, but no one's moved, so it looks like they're still going to attempt the extra point. Maybe if you're closer.
Right.
So Geiser a little bit closer now for this extra point. And his extra point is up, and it's good. 28-14, 10:59 to go here in the third. We'll pause for 30 seconds and come right back. You're listening to Whitmer Football.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, that 50-50 ticket was 51-50-41. White ticket, 51-50-41. If you win, you can have a party in the USA. And you can pick your winnings up at the Swag Shack behind the reserve section here.
Touchdown run from Miles Bailey after a bad punt from Whitmer. Makes the score 28-14, 10:59 to go here in the third, as the Panthers weren't even able to burn 1 minute and 1 second off the clock, as Geiser will tee this ball up once again. We saw them go to the far side of the field. Now it looks like a deeper kick coming from Geiser, as he does boot it deep, and it's going to go over the head of DeLuca into the end zone. What a foot from Grayson Geiser. And it'll put the Panthers at their own 20 here on this second offensive possession. They did nothing but lose yards on the last series of downs, and you got to definitely do a little bit better here.
Yeah, definitely just turn to one of your running backs right here. Let them pick up the 4 or 5 yards you need on that first down. Really start things off on the right foot for Whitmer after that first drive.
Trips to the right as Jamon Holmes in the gun with Carter Bourne. Again, 28-14, 10:59 to go here in the third. Carter gets the snap. He will go to Jamon. Jamon up the middle. He's across the 25 and hit from behind and taken down at the 28-yard line. Gain of 8 on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 2 upcoming for Jamon Holmes in this Whitmer offense. That's exactly what you wanted to see if you were that Whitmer offensive staff. And now the entire playbook to work with here on 2nd and 2. Trips to the left again. And Carter unable to get Findlay to jump. So now Jamon will move from Carter's left to his right, as they will hand off to Jamon around the right side this time. He's got the first down near the 35, and he's taken out of bounds officially at the 34-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 Whitmer.
Number 5, Harris on the tackle.
And it looks like Whitmer's just going to have to keep doing what they started with this game, is just running the ball with those 2 running backs, because it's just going to wear this Findlay defense down in the end. And Whitmer doesn't have to get cute with their play calls or anything like that. Clearly, Jamon and Joey are enough to get those 4 or 5 yards you need every play.
1st and 10 Panthers at their own 33. Hand off to Jamon up the middle again. Jamon lowers that shoulder at the 35, and he's going to be stopped in his tracks there. It'll be a gain of 2, second down and 8 upcoming for the Panthers. Officially actually a gain of 3, and it'll be second down and 7. It's been all Jamon so far. We have not seen Joey since the end of that first half. Came off a little bit ginger, and you wonder if maybe we'll see Joey at all. He is standing on the sideline as they will hand off to Jamon. This time around the left side, Jamon made a cut back, able to get positive yards up to the 40-yard line. And that was something from nothing, because if Jamon doesn't make that cut back inside, it's going to be a loss on the play. Instead, it's going to be a 3rd and 4 upcoming for the Whitmer offense.
Yeah, definitely more manageable than if you were to get stopped back where he originally got touched at. But you can always count on Jamon to fight for those extra yards.
Jaden Jones checks in on 3rd down and 4 as the Panther offense looks back to the sideline. 8:50 to go here in this third quarter. Three wide again as Carter gets the snap, looks to throw, has it caught on the far side. Marquez was wide open. He's across midfield and out of bounds for a first down. That was well read by Carter. They recognized the cushion being given on the far side, and Marquez, there's not a lot to him, but he was able to use that 5'7", 145-pound frame to get a first down. Jaden stays in at tailback. 1st and 10, Whitmer at the Findlay 49. 8:34 to go here in the third quarter. Again, Panthers leading 28-14, and I think Whitmer moved. It is a false start against the Panthers.
Yeah, I was on Marquez down here at the bottom of our, at the bottom right here, but I was just about to give him a compliment on how well he's playing. He's stepping in that role pretty well, but he's showing some good moves out there once he gets the ball, showing he's able to make some plays, but those are the mistakes that he has to limit if he wants to stay on the field.
Got a little bit of a run last week at Northview and ended up dropping a wide open touchdown pass in that third quarter. And he has rebounded nicely this week. Has caught 2 critical passes here. However, that false start makes it 1st and 15. Carter hands off to Jaden. Jaden up the middle. Jaden off the right side, but didn't get much. And there's going to be a little bit of shoving and fighting after the play. No calls on it, just blocking through the whistle. I like that the officials kind of let that go, as it'll be second down and 13. There's hard play. It's one thing if it becomes a little bit too egregious, but I don't think we had anything of the sort there. And really, you could have had offsetting if you were going to do that either way, as we close in on 8 minutes to go here in the third. Again, Whitmer leading 28-14, going from left to right across your radio dial. Second down and 13. Carter back to throw. Pumps once, going to go deep. Has Chris Winlock wide open. Caught inside the 25. Winlock makes a man miss inside the 15. 1st and 10, Whitmer at the Trojan 14-yard line.
Great play by Carter and Winlock there. It was a double move, so I mean, he was going to be wide open, and that's one where you just can't miss. And you might think, if you're sitting here watching the game live, Carter underthrew that, but if the guy's wide open, just get it to him and let him get the yards he's able to get.
So 1st and 10, Panthers at the 14-yard line of the Trojans, as Jamon Jones, Carter in the backfield again, this time to Jamon up the middle. Jamon pushes near that 10-yard line, maybe got 3 on the play. It'll bring up a second down and 7 as we close in on 7:20 to play here in the third. Panthers well within the range of Anthony Rue for a field goal. However, Whitmer thinking 6 here.
Yeah, even if they get put in, maybe a 4th and medium situation, they might even still try to go for it, but we'll see based on these next 2 plays here.
Second down and 7 at the 11-yard line of Findlay. Hand off to Jamon. Huge hole. Jamon inside the 5, taken down for a first down carry at the 3-yard line. I could have run through that hole, Riley Keller. And now Jamon, a little ginger coming off the field, and he is going to go down, and that is not what you want to see if you're Whitmer. Jamon got hit hard as he went down. And you're already trying to allow Joey Morales not to have to push it too far. But with the way that Jamon was running coming off the field, that was not a sign you wanted to see. As he is still on his back. It will be a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line when play resumes. But we will see what happens there. Let's pause for 30 seconds and come right back to listen to Whitmer football. Jamon Holmes is back on his feet and walking gingerly to the sideline. What looked like was a lot more serious, I don't think is as serious, as Joey Morales trying to get the crowd pumped up. And Jaden Jones will come in at tailback with a 1st and goal. Jaden has 2 touchdown runs so far this year. And we'll see with Whitmer bringing on the big boy package as Brandon Dempsey will be on the offensive line as well.
Yeah, Jamon's a tough player. He was going to try to walk that off, but he's jumping around on the sideline right now, so I'm sure he's just getting himself pumped up.
Hand off to Jaden, ran right into the backside of his blocker, got to the 2. It'll be 2nd and goal there.
And there goes Jamon Holmes back in the game.
So much for whatever I thought. My goodness. And Jamon Holmes, who looked like it was a real serious injury, all of a sudden right back on. He wants another touchdown run. 2nd and goal at the 3. Carter right back to Jamon. Jamon to the outside. Lowers his shoulder for 6. Get out of the way of 24 and a 3-yard scamper. And who said he's hurt? Just absolutely bowled over a defender from Findlay. How do you do?
Yeah, Jamon just needed a little bit to convince himself he wasn't hurt. And based on that play right there, it looks like he's perfectly fine. But
well, we know it's not a shoulder injury after that.
Yeah, he's such a tough player, and I mean he clearly something was bothering him coming off the field there when he went down. But I don't know what he told himself, but he said something on the sideline, was able to get himself back in there and put 6 on the board.
And LaRue's extra point up and good. 35-14, 6:04 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Let's pause for 30 seconds and come right back. You're listening to Whitmer football.
Great hands by number 17, Levi Bacon. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank Sideline Sports Eatery for their continued support of Whitmer Athletics. Please visit Sideline Sports Eatery before or after the game. The kitchen remains open late. Sideline Sports Eatery, a proud supporter of your Whitmer Panthers. Where's the student section at?
Jamon Holmes' 2nd touchdown run of the night, this time from 3 yards out. A punishing one at that. Makes the score Whitmer 35 and Findlay 14. Good response from the Panthers after they had a pretty poor start to this 3rd quarter. And they answer right back with a touchdown of their own to extend this lead back to a 3-score advantage. Brody Rowland to kick this one away. It's Imke back deep, as well as Hetrick. Hetrick was the one who almost returned the kickoff for a touchdown right before halftime. As Rowland puts toe to leather, squibs it, and it'll hit at the 10, and it'll roll into the end zone. That ended up just skirting down that sideline for a touchback. Let's go downstairs to Dan Naraki with the D&T sideline report. Dan.
We're going to talk about the closeness of this rushing room as well. While Jamon Holmes was down, when he initially got hit, he was in quite a lot of pain. However, not only was it Coach Keller, not only the trainers were out there, but Joey Morales made his way out there on the field as well. As Jamon Holmes got to his feet, he was right here hyping up this student section. Like I said, you can tell this is quite a tight-knit group in the rushing room.
That's really the kind of camaraderie you like to see. Thank you, Dan. You know better than anybody when you spend all those times and meetings and working as a position group, it's easy sometimes to get a little jealous. But Joey, Jamon, and Jaden all very close as Bailey in the gun will fake the handoff. Screen pass is batted away. Katorian Morgan wanted that one as Whitmer not fooled again. They were trying to go to Imke, and Miles Bailey lucky that was not interception number 3.
Yeah, that time they rotated a safety over there. They shifted the D line down to the boundary and then rotated that safety. So that time they were able to get on that bubble screen right away.
2nd down and 10 at the 20-yard line of the Trojans. Again, Whitmer leading 35-14 here in this third quarter. It'll be 3 wide receivers as Williams in the gun with Bailey. They'll hand off to Williams. He goes nowhere. Brandon Dempsey had him for a second. He was able to get away, and now the pile is being carried up to the 25-yard line. And apparently you're allowed to just not blow the whistle at all, as that was what was a loss of 1, ends up being a gain of 6. And the tush-push, I guess, alive and well.
Yeah, we saw it there. It worked for about 5 yards. But yeah, I thought Dempsey had him in the backfield. I think that's just showing to the defense for Whitmer that they need to fly the ball a little bit faster, because if there's more yellow jerseys around him, I think they blow that ball dead.
3rd and 4 upcoming. Bailey back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Bailey steps up trying to get away, and he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. Got to the 29 before he's chopped down there. 4th down and 1, and decision time for Stephen Adams. And he's made it. The punt unit will come out, and that's a little too risky. You're only down by 3 scores, and we've seen plenty of teams make that up in a quarter. Jed Scott will be your punter as Levi Bacon will drop inside the 40-yard line of the Panthers, and a late arriving player for Findlay's punt unit, that's Hetrick. As the clock runs inside, 4:40 to go here in the third. See if Findlay tries a fake here. They will not. Low snap. Scott got it away. It's not a great punt, but it's going to take a Findlay hop, go inside the 30, and Levi Bacon will just let it roll down inside the 20 of the Panthers. And as much as Findlay wills it, it goes to the 16-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 there for the Panthers with 4:21 to play here in this third quarter. That's really one of those situations, Riley, where there's not a whole lot you can do. And when you're 4th and 1 backed up in your own territory and you're down, it's awful tempting when it's a 4th and short to go for it. But the, I suppose, conservative play there is to obviously punt.
Yeah, I think you could kind of get a vibe of what Coach Adams was feeling out of his defense right there with the decision to punt it. He's trusting his defense to get another stop on this possession.
It's not been something they've done a whole lot tonight as Jaden Jones joins Carter Bourne in the gun. Jaden gets the handoff. Jaden off the left side, got across that 20-yard line to near the 21. It'll be a gain of 3 on the play for Jaden Jones. It'll be a 2nd down and 7 upcoming. Whitmer would love to get Jaden Jones going. It's been a tough year. He's been nicked up throughout much of the year, battling an ankle injury much of this season. But just tells you how tough of a kid Jaden is. Continues to play through it. 2nd down and 7 at the 20-yard line. They'll go right back to Jaden Jones. Jaden to the outside. Got some space. He's across the 25 and lowers his shoulder. Got close to the first down, and you could see the burst from Jaden Jones. When he gets ahead of steam, too, he is going to be a guy that is going to be tough to bring down as Whitmer quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Ball marked at the 27. And Carter Bourne and this offense look back. They will get reset. They were trying to catch Findlay napping a little bit. Now they will bring Jones into the backfield, 3 wide. Carter will hand off to Jaden again. Jaden able to slip one tackle but doesn't get away from another. First guy there for Findlay was number 52. That was Trayson Hyde, the defensive end. That was somebody, when I was talking with Coach Adams this week, he really liked Trayson Hyde quite a bit. And if you recognize the last name, you should. This is the nephew of Micah Hyde, former safety that played for the Buffalo Bills. All-pro safety at that. Played at Fostoria High School.
Yeah, I was going to say Fostoria native right there.
Hand off to Jaden again. Jaden got back to that original line of scrimmage as the clock will run inside of 2:45. And the Panthers with a long 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 10 officially. And this feels like one of those drives where Whitmer's just content to burn some clock here, too. 3rd down and 10 at the 28-yard line. Play clock at 18, so plenty of time. Whitmer's going to be able to take it all the way down near the 2-minute mark here in the third. Again, leading 35-14. 3 wide once again. Bourne gets the snap. He'll fake the handoff, rolls to his right, steps up, now throws here near side, and found Mark Hayes incomplete. And almost a pick. That was not a smart decision, as Hetrick almost had his second interception of the night. Instead, it's going to be a punt for Anthony LaRue, and let's hope that we see a better snap here this time from Chase Sturdivant.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough completion all the way for Carter Bourne right there. He had to step up while he was rolling out to the field. They had a defensive lineman in his vision, so it was really overall tough throw for him to make.
Actually, going to be Jerron Potts that's going to snap here. I don't know if they made a change. As Whitmer comes with a max punt, looks like Findlay's trying to come after this one. And now we've got a whistle.
Dead ball. Delay a game.
There's a delay game on the Panthers, so mark them back 5. Gonna need to be a whale of a punt again from LaRue, and the snap from Potts didn't look great there either. Ball's gonna go to the 22. Talked about how important special teams was before that Anthony Wayne game. Whitmer special teams here in this third quarter have not been great. That's another high snap. It's gonna go over the head of LaRue, and he's just gonna let him fall on the ball for a touchdown. Anthony LaRue with a terrible decision. Watched the Trojans score a touchdown, and that is a huge mental error by Anthony LaRue.
Yeah, I'm sure they discussed it on the sideline what the process should be if the snap goes over your head as a punter, but that time LaRue's just got to kick the ball out of bounds through the back of the end zone, I think.
And LaRue getting an earful down the sideline, and rightly so. That was a terrible decision. And the Whitmer errors of what have led to the points here for Findlay in this third quarter. I don't want to take anything away from the Trojans, as Geister's extra point is up and good, but to take nothing away from Findlay, but Whitmer's poor punts have allowed Findlay to score 14 points here in this third quarter. And all of a sudden, the Panthers look helpless when they've tried to punt. Potts with a high snap. We saw Sturdivant snapping down here, and it's going to be the Whitmer offense that's going to have to come to this rescue once again with it back to 14, and this has been a little bit of a worrisome development here tonight. Again, not so much about what it'll mean for the outcome of this game per se, although this one very much still not decided, but more so about if this becomes a running issue.
Yeah, I think the Whitmer offense right now just needs to take a deep breath, and like I said when they started this half, is just go back to what they were doing to start the game, and that's use those 2 running backs if they're feeling good, and if not, you just need to run a few short game plays for Carter to see the field clearly and deliver a ball when he needed to, and so we'll see what they do here offensively.
You see Lucas Dubry now warming up at punter, and you wonder if you're going to see Dubry if the Panthers have to punt again, as this kickoff will sail into the end zone as DeLuca will field it, and it's a touchback there, so the Panthers will bring it out to their 20. And we'll see what Whitmer can do. Some special teams mistakes have cost Whitmer dearly here in this third quarter. So 1st and 10 Panthers. Despite the miscue, still lead by 2 touchdowns, 35-21 with 2:02 left to play here in the third quarter. And it will be Jaden Jones at tailback. Carter Bourne, the quarterback. And this gives you at least an idea of how they feel about Jamon and Joey at this point. Carter gets the snap. He'll hand off to Jaden around the left side. Jaden across that 20 and taken down at the 22-yard line. Make it 21. It's a gain of 1 on the play. Jameel Small is going to check in for Jaden Jones. And I could see before the series happened that Nick Specht was back talking to Jamon Holmes, and you wonder if that was telling him, just listen, we're not going to take any unnecessary risks if we got a lead. As Small now in at tailback. 3 wide here, trips to the near side as Bourne in the gun. 2nd down and 8. Hand off to Jameel Small. Small to the outside and goes nowhere. Good defense by Findlay as number 31, Cole Hull, made the stop.
Yeah, you said it last drive how Whitmer is going to try stalling clock, but I think from here on out now this is going to be the game plan, is just to try to eat up as much clock as possible and hopefully throw in a couple first downs so that they can burn a little bit more time. But that's definitely going to be the name of the game going forward for them.
Panthers will have to run one more play at least before the end of the quarter, as Small will flare out of the backfield. Carter back to throw, looks his way, throws it over the middle, got it to Potts, and Potts is taken down short of the first down, but that's going to allow the clock to run out here in the third quarter, and Whitmer's going to be forced to punt. And what has been an adventure here in this third quarter punting. LaRue is back out. Sturdivant to snap this time. Panthers don't have to run a play before the end of the quarter. And I think they're going to wait anyway, as clock is down to 10. And that's exactly what Justin Keller's saying. Wait, we're going to go to the fourth quarter. 35-21 after 3 here at Whitmer Memorial Stadium. Panthers trying to hang on to this one. Findlay making a heck of a comeback thanks to some Panther miscues. We'll see if they can hold on after this timeout on Q105. Fourth quarter about to begin. Whitmer leading 35-21, but they do have a punt upcoming here with a 4th down and 3 to begin this third quarter. It was 2 punt miscues that have cost Whitmer here in this third quarter. They were outscored 14-7 by the Trojans in that period because of a bad snap on the first punt that LaRue booted out of bounds just 7 yards downfield, and then a high snap that LaRue failed to cover. This time a much better snap, and LaRue gets off a much better punt, as this will go inside the 35, fair caught at the 36 of Findlay, and that's where the Trojans will begin this drive. Let's go downstairs to Dan Naraki with a check of our Hindsight Pizza scoreboard. Dan.
All right, in the fourth quarter, Napoleon on top of Bowling Green 13-3. It's Genoa leading Eastwood 35-21. Perrysburg all over Clay 42-7. Central Catholic leading St. Mary's 21-10, and Fremont Ross on top of Springfield 27-14. That one's still in the third.
Thank you, Dan. So now this Whitmer defense is going to have to rise to the occasion. They were able to do so the last time out. Again, you don't want to take anything away from Findlay, but Whitmer's punting game has allowed the Trojans back into this one. And you can feel the crowd a little uneasy here after what was a dominant first half. Miles Bailey going to be in the gun with Ramir Williams. 3 wide receivers. Bailey gets the snap, hands off to Williams. It's a reverse. Now they're going to throw it downfield. Ball is incomplete. That was a terrible throw as they tried a little bit too much trickery. Geiser was looking for number 21, Grant Emmons, the tight end, but that ball was thrown well out of bounds. And Findlay kind of outthought themselves on that call. They were trying to catch Whitmer napping. It really was covered very well anyway. Cam Sanders was right there.
Yeah, if they were going to run that kind of action in the backfield, I would have expected the receiver to go a little bit deeper than 15 yards, but I bet they got a few more tricks up their sleeve.
Well, I'm sure they do. Empty set. Bailey will keep it himself. Bailey got back to the line, and he's taken down right there as Brock Duvall able to clean up the play along with Joe Searcy up front. It'll be a 3rd down and 9 upcoming for these Findlay Trojans.
This is a stop that the Panthers really need to get momentum back in their favor, especially with the start of this fourth quarter. being all the Trojans right now.
Empty set again. Bailey back to throw, looks out to the outside. Ball is incomplete, overthrew his target, Imke, and there's a flag. That is an awful, awful call. There are calls that have been awful in the history of this season, but that is as bad as it gets on that far side. As a pass interference called against Jameer Wells. That ball well out of bounds. Wells got there about the time, and to go back to that first half when Winlock got smoked from behind on the pass that was inside the 5-yard line that wasn't called, I'm not sure how you called that one.
Man, that was a perfect defensive possession, or 4 plays from the Panthers, and I didn't really see a flag either, Chris. I'm going to be honest. I thought the ball was really not catchable at all.
4 wide as man comes in motion. This time it's a fumble on the ball and incomplete, they're going to say. That was a handoff. That was not an incomplete pass. That was a handoff, and these officials are really embarrassing themselves here in this game so far. That was clearly a handoff intended for Jed Scott, and these officials aren't doing themselves any favors right now.
They've been running that a few times where it's the quick toss up in the air and it counts as a pass for the quarterback and a completion for the receiver, but in the midst of all that, I don't know if you could tell whether or not he was trying to do that.
Bailey, the screen pass to Imke, got it complete. He's across the 45 to the 42. It was a high play, and now a flag after as a Findlay Trojan got thrown to the turf after the play was done. Scott got thrown down. It's going to be another 15 yards against the Panthers, and this really is where Whitmer just needs to catch their breath as Wells is going to come off. He is going to be absolutely scolded as he got to the sideline. And the Boo Birds are out for the officials, not for the Panthers. But we talked about this. The penalties coming back to bite the Panthers against a good team. Bailey in the backfield. Again, Whitmer leading 35-21, 10:53 to play here in the fourth. Bailey gets the snap, drops to throw, fires over the middle, pass is caught inside the 15. That's Imke down to the 11-yard line where he's taken down. 1st and 10 Trojans. Here comes Findlay, 10:39 left to go in this ball game, and Findlay getting very close to cutting this to a 1-score possession.
Yeah, and the momentum is just one play away from swinging to a 1-score game, which is hard to believe after that first half. But those penalties kept piling up and piling up.
1st and 10 at the 11. Bailey back to throw again. Throws over the middle. Pass is caught. Touchdown, Carter Imke. Duron Parks got blown off the ball. Imke able to come back for the touchdown. It's an 11-yard touchdown pass from Miles Bailey. It's 35-28. Well, 35-27, pending an extra point with 10:14 to play.
Yeah, it's exactly what the Trojans needed right there. I mean, Whitmer had a chance of forcing the punt right there, and 50-50 call. I don't know if it was 50-50, but definitely scratching my head at that call still. But that drive basically got started after that penalty once again.
And the Panthers just jumped off sides as Katorian Morgan couldn't stay on side. Now you wonder if you do go for 2. This is something I've seen in the NFL in recent weeks, and they are going to go for 2. Here comes the offense.
Yeah, because then one more touchdown puts you up.
Yeah, the extra point could, in theory, be the deciding point. And worst case is you don't get it here. You just go for 2 the next time. It's a smart decision. Again, you play the percentages here. Oh, they call a false start. Wow. Well, now the extra point unit's definitely going to come back on. Whitmer may have dodged a bullet there. So this extra point going to be a 25-yarder instead of the normal. Geiser had it blocked. Panthers got a piece of it. And it's going to be downed right there Well, now you're definitely going to have to go for two, and there's a Trojan who is down hurt at the 10-yard line. 35-27, 10-14 to play. Let's pause for 30 seconds and come right back. You're listening to Whitmer Football, Q105. Brody Smith, the right tackle for Findlay, is down at the 10-yard line, and Justin Keller is using this opportunity. He pulled the entire team in at midfield, and he is telling them exactly what I think everybody is thinking in this stadium right now, which is we have shot ourselves in the foot multiple times in this half. We have done ourselves zero favors. And again, credit Findlay for hanging with it, not giving up. But Whitmer has done nothing but drive backwards outside of one series. Defensively, looked like they were going to get off the field. They compounded the problem after the pass interference penalty by a personal foul penalty after an incomplete pass. And this is just one of those situations where if Whitmer wants to be a Buckeye Division champion, they indeed have to respond here. With 10-14 to go, you can hear the crowd getting in behind them.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need from this home stands, because even the crowd was getting a little quiet. I think they were getting just as nervous as the team was after those penalties kept stacking up. But Coach Keller doing a good job bringing the team in when he had the chance. And I don't know what he said to him, but he got him fired up enough to try to get this crowd going as well.
Well, let's hope that whatever was said was just as effective as whatever was said before the game. Panthers started out like a house of cards on fire. They led 28-0 in the second quarter. Since then, Findlay has tacked on 27 points. Whitmer's just got one to their name as Geiser boots it away. It's going to be taken at the 5-yard line. Dropped by DeLuca there, picked back up. He's at the 10, cuts across at the 10 and taken down there. Great job by Findlay as DeLuca, another special teams mistake, puts the Panthers in a really tough spot. They're back at the 10-yard line. And that's where the drive's going to begin with 10:08 to play. Jamon Holmes coming back.
This is a great opportunity for the Panthers to really stall out this drive for as long as possible. I know there's a couple times back when I was playing where we were able to maybe kill 8 minutes off the clock when we needed to in a situation like this, and it really just drowns out all the momentum that Findlay's built up to this point, knowing that they don't really have enough time to put points on the board.
Holmes in the gun with Bourne. Hand off to Jamon. Jamon up the middle with a head of steam. He's across the 25 and tripped up by the turf monster. And that ankle is what got him again. And he's going to have to come off. And he's going to go down again. Holy smokes, that was so close to being a huge breakaway touchdown run. And then Jamon just tweaked that ankle again. And they're going to say is a penalty against Whitmer. There's a flag down at the 8-yard line.
Still waiting for the call.
Yeah, there's been no signal yet.
5-yard penalty, but any 5-yard penalty would have been a pre-snap.
Dan said 5 guys lined up in the backfield was the problem.
Oh, okay.
So Jamon limping off again. But this is as dire as it's looked since week 2 for these Panthers. They still lead by 8, but it's as quiet as a Sunday service across the street at the Lutheran Church. as Jaden Jones will return with a 1st and 15 coming up from the 5-yard line. Panthers not only have to be careful because of needing to get 15 yards, but also need to be careful because you certainly can't afford a turnover here. Handoff to Jaden. Up the middle. Jaden with a burst of speed across the 10. He's at the 15, and that's a 18-yard carry for a first down by Jaden Jones. Got to the 22-yard line. First down, Whitmer. Well, that is a big run, and at least provides a little bit of breathing room for the Panthers. And as Riley said a few moments ago, burns some clock.
Yeah, it's exactly what they needed. You don't really ask your running back to pick up 18 yards on one carry, but when Jaden Jones has a little bit of room, he's able to do so and really get him out of a tight situation right there, backed up on their own goal line.
There are moments where you need everybody to participate, and this is maybe that moment where Jaden Jones needs to carry this team to the finish line as he has another carry across the 25. Up near the 30, ball came out at the end. It's a fumble, and Findlay's got it. Turnover on a fumble by Jaden Jones, and Findlay's going to have the ball at the Whitmer 32.
Yeah, Jaden was running pretty high with that ball. He's got to get that pad level a little lower because when your pads get lower, so does the ball. I think Findlay was just able to straight up strip it out of his hands without him going to the ground. So Jaden Jones has really got to tighten down on that ball security, get his pad level lower going through that line of scrimmage.
So a 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Whitmer 32. They only trail by 8 with 9:13 to play. They were trailing by 28 points in the second quarter. Instead, a chance to go down and tie this baby up. 3 wide receivers. Bailey in the gun. Looks to throw, goes short side, got Imke for a short pass. It's going to be close to a first down. 9 minutes and counting. Findlay would possibly tie this one up. It's going to be 2nd down and 1. Ball at the Whitmer 23. Bailey fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, got the first down across the 20, and falls forward to the 18-yard line. It'll be first down Trojans. Clock stops with 8:45 to play.
Number 34, by the way, on the bench.
4 wide again for Bailey. 1st and 10 at the 17 of Whitmer. Bailey to throw, goes underneath, got it to Scott. Scott spins off a tackler, he got in, touchdown. And it is now 35 to 33, and Findlay going to go for 2, and rightly so, to tie this one up.
Well, that time Findlay went with their empty set, something Coach Keller said that defense has kind of been struggling with this year, and just being able to complete a little 5-yard out and only got one guy to beat, which is the safety, which he did. And now we're looking at a possibly 1-point ball game, maybe even tie it up here with this 2-point conversion.
Trojans will go for 2. They have it on the left hash with 3 wide. Man comes in motion. That's Imke. They look that way. Bailey going to roll, still rolling. Didn't get rid of it, now does, and it's incomplete. And something finally goes right for the Panthers here in this second half. The question is, can Whitmer do anything now with the football? They did score once, but they're pretty much down to Jaden Jones and Jameel Small in that offensive backfield. Although I've certainly been saying that before, and Jamon Holmes came back out, but he is pacing around on that sideline. I doubt they're going to bring him back in, as Joey Morales trying to keep people in this game. But this is, if you had to use a phrase, to borrow one from Reggie Miller, it's winning time. If you're not going to do anything here, you don't deserve to win this game. The Panthers have absolutely squandered a 28-point lead here. And it seemed like everything changed during that 2-minute drill. Carter Bourne threw the interception. And from there, the Panthers, outside of one touchdown drive, have looked bewildered. It's almost like the script completely flipped at halftime.
Yeah, it really has.
Geisler to boot this one away. And it's a deep kick. Milam will take it at the 2. Maddox Milam is at the 10. He's at the 15. Bounces to the outside. Looked like a face mask could have been called. And there's a late hit. That is awful. And they have to throw him out of the game. I don't know how you let that go. That was so clearly out of bounds. Good news is Maddox Milam is okay. But that is as bad as it gets. It was clear he was out of bounds.
Personal foul, 15-yard penalty. First down, Whitmer.
But Hetrick absolutely hit Milam out of bounds almost near the cheerleaders. And Riley Keller, if that doesn't get you going, I don't know what does.
Yeah, I want to strap on the pads and go, hit somebody for Maddox Milam there. I mean, that was not your average, hit out of bounds flag call. Milam was all the way on the track, and he got hit out of bounds. I wouldn't be surprised if, they thought about throwing him out here, but I don't know if you can if it's a late hit like that, if it's not like a punch or anything of that sort. But yeah, that was one of the worst penalties I've seen in a while.
35-33, 8:21 to go. Panthers clinging to a 2-point lead. Jaden Jones in the gun with Carter Bourne, 3 wide. Waddell comes in motion. They hand off to Jaden. He's wrapped up and taken down. Got a yard on the play to the 35. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Clock runs, getting close to 8 minutes to go in this one. Three wide here again. Jones tosses the hand warmer. We'll see if that's the culprit. Carter gets the snap, looks to throw, throws here near side. Pass is caught by Winlock. Chris Winlock going to be taken down at the 42-yard line. Clock will continue to run. It'll be a 3rd down and 2 from the Panther 42-yard line. Crowd wanted a face mask. They didn't get it. Clock continues to run inside 7:30. Brandon Dempsey will come on for that extra blocking.
With all the chaos going on right now, the Whitmer offense just has to stay calm, cool, collected, just pick up first down after first down. They don't really need to worry about the end zone right now.
Jones in the gun with Bourne. They'll go to Jaden. Jaden up the middle. Has the first down across midfield. 1st and 10 Whitmer to the 49-yard line. Jaden Jones with both hands hugging that football like it was a small child. Got a first down carry to the 49.
And they threw in Brandon Dempsey there to go block for him on that first down. I'm sure that kind of helped him out make that decision to run the ball behind Brandon Dempsey.
And Dempsey's going to stay in there as Whitmer letting time burn. Findlay does, of course, have all 3 timeouts as Dempsey will come off. Waddell on, and Whitmer's got to hurry. There's 10 seconds left on the play clock. Whitmer might need to take a timeout, and I think they're going to have to. Play clock down to 2. Now 0. They got it off just in time as Jaden Jones just got back to the line of scrimmage, and Whitmer's lucky it wasn't a delay of game. Play clock paused at 2, and then ended up jumping to 0. So 2nd down and 10, ball at the 49 of Findlay. Carter Bourne looks back to the sideline. Play clock with plenty of time. Whitmer takes it under 6 minutes to go, leading 35-33. 3 wide receivers. Bourne gets the snap, hands off to Jaden up the middle. Jaden across that midfield stripe to the 45. Make it the 46, and there's a flag at the end. And who's that on?
That's on Findlay.
And it's going to be against Findlay. Waddell was in the mix.
Yeah, that was Will Hammer for Findlay. Him and Waddell kind of were facing each other at the 40-yard line, but let's see, Will Hammer gave Waddell a shove, so that's what drew the penalty on them.
It's offsetting personal fouls. So you're going to run 3rd down here. It's after the play.
what made me think that was for sure on Hammer was the ref threw the flag and pointed right at him, so I didn't think that was offsetting at all.
3rd down 7. They hand off to Jaden around the left side. Jaden cut back across the grain and going to be short of the first down. Got to the 44, and Whitmer's going to be able to take it down close to 5 minutes. And Justin Keller with a decision to make. My assumption will be he'll take it all the way down and then have a decision to make. Whitmer looking like they're going to go for it with a 4th and 5 at the 44-yard line of Findlay. If the Panthers do go for it, this could be the ball game. Closing in on 5. Whitmer looks back to the sideline. Play clock at 10. Whitmer leading 35-33 here in the 4th. Carter will look back, and Whitmer's going to take that last timeout, or the first timeout, I should say, here in this 4th quarter. 4:52 to go in the ball game. We will step aside. A 4th down and 5 upcoming. Looks like Whitmer's going to punt the football away. They have the ball at the Trojan 44-yard line. Chris Schmidbauer, Riley Keller, Dan Naraki down the sidelines for you. Whitmer leading 35-33 here in this one. Panthers led 28-0 at one point, but a lot of miscues here in the second half have allowed Findlay to get back into this ball game. LaRue gets the snap, drops the snap. Now punts it away. Still got a good punt away. Fair caught inside the 10-yard line. And that's where Findlay will take over with 4:45 to go in this one. Down by 2. And Grayson Geiser, we've seen him kick tonight. He is more than capable of making a field goal, so Whitmer can't just assume that Findlay's got to go for a touchdown here.
Yeah, defense has to lock in on this drive. It's a big opportunity for them to kind of get back those few touchdowns they gave up, but really I think they were put in bad spots to start, so there's an opportunity for them to solidify what they've done all year, and that's stop an offense early in its tracks.
1st and 10, Findlay at their own 7-yard line. Bailey will take it himself. He's up the middle to the 10. Make it the 12, still on his feet across the 15, and it's going to be a 1st down carry for Miles Bailey. He just kept churning those legs on that 1st down run as the clock runs with 4:35 to play. Again, Panthers up by 2. Findlay does have all 3 timeouts as Bailey in the gun. He will fake the handoff again, keep him himself, and he's going to be hit at the 20 and got a yard and dropped there. Clock closing in on 4 minutes to play. Brock Duvall on the stop. Again, Findlay all 3 timeouts. 35-33, Panthers on top. Findlay driving from left to right across your radio dial here in this 4th quarter. The tight end flares out. Bailey back to throw. Going to throw off his back foot. Passes caught by number 12, Jed Scott. He's taken down at the 25-yard line. Clock continues to run. And it is 3.5 to go. It'll be a 3rd down coming up. No question, regardless of what happens here on this 3rd and 3, Findlay's got to go for it. Good pressure by that Whitmer front 7. Bailey just had to throw it up, and Scott able to come back and make a play. 3rd down, 3. Bailey back to throw. Going to be sacked. No, throws it off his back foot. Intercepted. Oh, incomplete. Oh, boy, that was so close. Great play by Cam Sanders. He came up, read the play well, but it is going to be a 4th down and 3.
Now, Findlay does have all 3 timeouts.
They do. Would you take one here?
I don't know if I would almost punt it away and force Whitmer to try to make some play on offense, because their offense has been stopped the last 2 possessions. But, you know, a 4th and 3, 4th and 4 situation, if you like what you got called here, I'd run it.
This could be the ball game. And there's the timeout. You wondered if they were going to take it. They do indeed. 4th and 3 coming up on the other side of this timeout. You wonder if Findlay might be thinking twice. Riley Keller pointing out during the timeout to me, you do have 2 timeouts. Do you force Whitmer to try and do something offensively, which they haven't really been able to do since the 3rd quarter? Obviously a few first downs and the game's over, but you do have 2 timeouts, and 3:12 can be an eternity. And Findlay's made their choice. They're going for it. 4th down, 3 coming up. Miles Bailey, the quarterback. He is joined in the backfield by Griffin Lane. 3 wide receivers. Bailey fakes the handoff. They go with the screen pass. It is caught for a first down to the 30-yard line, and Imke falls down there as the clock will stop with 3:08 to play. Searcy will check in for Deron Parks. So 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line of the Trojans. Bailey in the gun with 3 wide. Bailey back to throw. Going to get pressured. Throws over the middle. Pass is caught by Imke across the 40-yard line to the 41. 1st and 10. They've loved Carter Imke all day, and you know that's where Bailey's going to be looking.
Yeah, they've been running over the ball routes really anytime they're in these fast situations. Here, I'll let this play go.
That's right. Bailey back to throw. No holding call there. Apparently Bailey throws it incomplete. Overthrew Carter Imke, but 2 Panthers got tackled in the backfield. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10. Not sure how you didn't get a holding call there. 2:32 to go. Findlay does have 2 timeouts, again trailing 35-33 here in this 4th quarter. Again, Panthers led 28-0 in the 2nd quarter. Since then, Panther miscues have cost them. 3 wide here for Bailey. 2nd down and 10. Bailey back to throw. Here comes the pressure. Throws it as he gets hit and throws it out of bounds as Zach Aubrey drilled his number 11 counterpart. It'll be a 3rd down and 10. And there's another offensive lineman for Findlay down.
Yeah, that play was all Zach Aubrey right there. He being able to get back in Bailey's face as soon as possible, because if not, I think Bailey's able to deliver a 50-50 jump ball to his receiver out on the outside. And with the way the things have been going tonight, you don't know if a flag's coming out of the ref's pocket or not.
It's Max Inthavoni that was the player that was down, as he will come off gingerly. Certainly if you're Stephen Adams, not the time you want to start losing offensive linemen.
No.
2:28 to go in the ball game. Again, 35-33. Panthers on top, but just barely. Can the Panthers hold Findlay at bay here and get out of here with a win by the skin of their teeth? We'll find out. 3 wide. Bailey in the gun again. Have to think he's going to look for Carter Imke first on this play. Bailey back to throw. Screen pass is caught underneath by Imke, and he's going to be taken down short of the 1st down. Got to the 49, and it's going to be 4th down there. Clock continues to run. It's going to run inside of 2 minutes likely. This will be a 4th down and 4. Trojans have to get to the Whitmer 47-yard line. Bailey in the gun with 3 wide. Back to throw does go Bailey. Bailey will roll to his left. Tries to take off with it. Got the 1st down to the 45. Clock stops with 1:52 to go. Again, you wonder, what is the range for Grayson Geiser?
Yeah, it seems like they might know what it is without the Whitmer side knowing, because you'd think they'd want to throw the ball right here, but with the way they're running the ball, it seems like they don't need that much yards.
They will throw here. Bailey steps up, goes deep, pass is incomplete, looking for Imke. Just over the head of Duron Parks. Incomplete as Bailey drilled again. 2nd down and 10 coming up from the Whitmer 45. 1:34 to go.
A lot of their completions, a lot of Bailey's completions have been coming over the middle. I'm wondering when these Whitmer linebackers will stop honoring the run so much in this 2-minute situation and maybe start dropping when they see pass, because I think they're liable to catch an interception here to seal the game.
2nd down and 10. Ball at the 45-yard line. Bailey back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Going to throw over the middle. Pass is tipped, intercepted! L.J. Glover with the pick! And that's going to do it here at Whitmer Memorial Stadium. L.J. Glover saves tonight. And as you said, Riley Keller, you wondered, when were those Whitmer linebackers going to stop honoring the run? The ball was tipped. L.J. Glover with the interception. There is a flag after the play, but I have imagine it's going to be on the celebration.
Yeah, the whole team was over there to celebrate that turnover, rightfully so. Just sealed the game for the Panthers. What a great job by the defense there to step up and make a play when they needed to.
That's a first down? No, I'm sorry. I thought he signaled first down for a second the other direction. So Joey Morales, Carter Bourne, and this offense going to need to close it out. Findlay has 2 timeouts with 1:22 to go, and the Panthers up by 2. Whitmer just needs a first down, and they should be able to seal this one. Handoff to Joey. Lowers the shoulder. Joey threw that 30 or 25-yard line and got close to the first down. And Joey ready to close this one out. 1:12 left to go, and there's the timeout taken by Findlay.
Timeout, Findlay, their second.
L.J. Glover may have sealed the win here. They need 1 first down, and that's going to be it. And it'll save what was a very tense second half. You imagine, regardless of what happens near this, or the next 1:11, Justin Keller is going to have a celebration tonight, but some frank conversations tomorrow. Second down and 3. Morales trying to close this puppy out. Hand off to Joey. Joey to the outside. Got to the 35. First down, Joey Morales.
And he stayed in bounds.
And he stayed in bounds.
Number 5, Joey Morales.
And that breeze you just felt from the east, or from the west, was the exhale from the crowd here at Whitmer Memorial Stadium. Findlay can't do much. They're just going to let the clock run. They know that this ball game is likely over. And I will say this before this game ends. A ton of respect to that visitor's sideline right now. As Carter Bourne will hand off to Joey. Joey will just go down. And there's the timeout taken by Stephen Adams with 33 seconds left. But Whitmer just has to take a knee, and that's it.
Yeah, really good job by Findlay tonight. Props to them for coming out and, not quitting.
Been very easy, to your point. Been very easy to quit when they were down 28-0. I actually looked at you, and I'm probably embarrassed to say this, but I looked at you and said, this feels like it might be a running clock in the second quarter. There was 6:47 to go before halftime, and you and I are wondering what the heck is going on, because that was not what we expected to see from Findlay. And to be fair to the Trojans, what we saw in the second half was not what we expected to see from Whitmer. Miscues abound, but the Panthers are going to get out of here by the skin of their teeth. with their 7th win of the season. And L.J. Glover, the hero of the night, as he provided the interception as Carter Bourne takes a knee, and that's going to do it. The Panthers able to get to the 7th win. Justin Keller probably has a few more gray hairs after tonight, but the Panthers 35-33 winners here on homecoming in what was looking like a blowout win for the Panthers at one point, and from then it was all downhill. Miscues on special teams, some miscues defensively, but the Panthers able to survive here tonight, 35-33. And if anything, there's one thing that we will say: there's no way anybody's going to look at tonight and feel like this was a complete win.